So, the story starts with the Emperor accusing a red-eyed warrior of being uncontrollable and surpassing SSS rank, claiming he must be eliminated for the Empire's stability. The furious warrior fires back, asking if that's the Emperor's excuse for slaughtering his family and comrades. The red-eyed warrior gets caught in an explosion. The Emperor reveals he tampered with his armor, injecting him with compound poison. Weakened, the warrior sees a hidden SSS rank skill, Mirror World, suddenly activate. A system window confirms Mirror World is an SSS rank skill that reverses everything. The injured warrior falls into water, and then decades later, a tied-up victim being dunked upside down into water by a tormentor. The tormentors continue holding the tied-up victim underwater and punching him. The victim suddenly glows blue with red eyes. A youth with glasses tries to intervene, worried the victim will die, but the dark-clothed tormentor grabs him, calling him a hypocrite and revealing the victim is a chanter. The dark-clothed tormentor turns on the youth with glasses, hitting him and threatening him. But then, the tormented victim screams, "A dungeon! Why is there a dungeon here?" As a dungeon gate suddenly appears, stunning everyone. Inside the dungeon, the youth with glasses struggles to untie himself, panicking as monsters appear and a huge blue demon attacks. A purple-haired person, also tied, jumps in, blocking the attack and using a skill called Glacial Impact. A system message shows basic heal was used on a minor demon, but failed as its HP was full. This is Yun-Che, who realizes he's a level 5 chanter in a new body. Touching a dungeon binds you to the system and assigns a random, unchangeable starting class. Yun-Che, the protagonist, recalls being a pinnacle SSS rank warrior with the hidden skill Mirror World, which reverses everything. He believes he revived in the body of a dying boy and now seeks revenge. The youth with glasses is swarmed by monsters, desperately calling for Yun-Che. Yun-Che, frustrated by his weak new body, realizes his chanter skills like basic heal or entangling vines are useless in combat. His current skill set isn't cutting it. Running out of stamina, Yun-Che's only hope is Mirror World, currently level 1. He tries to activate it on a minor demon, but the system repeatedly flashes, failed. Insufficient level. Yun-Che realizes Mirror World needs a reflective surface, but his level is too low. Attempts on a rusty cleaver fail. Meanwhile, the youth with glasses panics, screaming as a level 10 malformed overlord appears. As chaos ensues and monsters swarm, the youth with glasses freaks out. Yun-Che desperately tries to use Mirror World on a tiny, roadside pebble, but again, the system states, failed. Insufficient level. The youth with glasses questions if they can fight given the level gap. Yun-Che tries Mirror World on Xiao Zhi's makeshift barrier, but a message states he cannot reverse others' skills. He then tries it on his own skill, Entangling Vines, and it works. It becomes Chaotic Thorns, reversed, firing purple energy spikes at the monsters. Yun-Che realizes the skill's effect is inverted and enhanced. His old, Entangling Vines, immobilized enemies, but Chaotic Thorns, now inflicts confusion, causing monsters to attack randomly. The youth with glasses is surprised by this powerful reversal. With this amazing discovery, a question is posed: what would happen if the rest were reversed? Yun-Che realizes his reverse chanter skills are powerful. His bind skill, once weak, now effectively binds goblin enemies. Curious about other reversed skills, he checks Blade of Basic Attack, 20 MP, 30s, plus 5% attack, deactivates if MP spent. Its reversed version, Trick Blade, reversed, costs 40 MP, lasts 60s, boosting attack 10% per MP spent. He activates it. Yun-Che sees Trick Blade lets any skill boost his attack, huge potential. He then levels to 6, gaining chanter stats and points. In the dungeon, monsters fight. Yun-Che gains EXP, levels to 6, his MP instantly refilling. With full MP, confused monsters, Yun-Che tests Trick Blade. Casting Chaotic Thorns triggers it, boosting attack 10%. He repeatedly casts, draining MP for 10% attack boosts. Trick Blade pushes total attack to 2.2 times normal, broken. Buffed, Yun-Che unleashes a pink/purple energy slash, dealing immense damage, beyond a normal chanter's capability. Tian-Zip is flabbergasted. He can't believe level 5 Yun-Che, as he thinks, has such power and agility. Yun-Che calculates his level 6 power, 120 MP, 1 MP regen/second. He's exceeding stats, a monster chanter. Someone reflects on struggling with level 11 elites. In the middle of destruction, a purple-eyed character recalls a major fight. Flashback, a level 21 hidden boss, battlefield chimera grudge demon. Over 10,000 HP, high stats, surrounded by demons, impossible. The glasses character freaks out about the level 21 boss. The purple-eyed character doesn't hesitate, ready for the roaring beast. Their chaotic thorns fails, target immune to confusion. The chimera shrugs it off, not slowing its charge. Watch out. Battle becomes an energy whirlwind. Glowing character moves fast. Purple-eyed figure clashes with creature, countering attacks. In the middle of chaos, the purple-eyed character flashes, seeing a blue-eyed character screaming, "You idiot! I told you not to rush in." At an armored figure. Purple energy blasts, causing loud impacts. Bones litter environment as figures move rapidly. An aggressive character yells. Xiao Ji is critically injured, for HP, basic healing restores 1 HP, triggering Trick Blade, plus 10% attack, MP drops to 54. Someone notes the chanter's weak healing. Tianji, 25 HP, asks for potions. Trick Blade active, plus 110% attack, 8s left. They face a level 21 chimera and level 10 to 11 monsters. Seeing monsters nearly dead, a determined, purple energy character declares, "It's about time." They tell Xiao Ji hang in there, promising, "I'll take them all down." Purple energy blasts cause widespread destruction, destroying entities and clearing dungeon threats. Yun-Che levels to 7, restoring HP/MP. He activates Trick Blade, plus 110% attack, 8s left, and Chaotic Thorns, plus 10% attack. MP is 62. Yun-Che needs attack for boss. Trick Blade lasts minute, Chaotic Thorns adds plus 10%. He needs greater than 400% attack, 40 casts. Level 8, he rapidly casts, stacking power. In the middle of level-ups, Yun-Che pushes for level 10. The horned boss looms, but Yun-Che is relentless, surging with energy. Tian Zip watches, terrified. Yun-Che unleashes his attack. Now level 12, Trick Blade grants plus 510% attack power. He sends an energy shockwave at the boss, ensuring impact. Eyes glowing purple, Yun-Che charges with Radiant Blade. He slashes, blasting stacked attack power onto furry boss. Purple energy slashes from Yun-Che's blade impact the lion-like creature. The beast roars, retaliating with red claw attacks, splattering blood. One final energy slash ends it. System, level 21 resentful demon Gamera eliminated. Tian Zip, blood splattered, trembles, questioning if such power is real. Yun-Che annihilated the secret realm. He gains 3 levels, reaching 15. A stunned speaker can't believe a level 5 chanter cleared it. Yun-Che checks stats, HP 480, MP 140, 9 free stat points. Triumphant over boss, Yun-Che faces disbelief. A companion stammers, "Yun-Che. Is it you? How'd you get so strong?" Then, a mysterious voice utters, "Xiao Ji." Yun-Che ignores explanations. He asks wounded character, "What's your relation to Xiao Benben?" Character shocked he knows great-grandfather's nickname. Mystery. A purple-eyed character is shocked, the glasses guy is Xiao Benben's great-grandson, and the blue-eyed kid is their great-grandson. This family tie is a huge surprise. The dark blue jacket guy presses the light blue shirt guy about his great-grandfather. He's immediately shut down, uncomfortable. The dark-haired man tells the glasses guy he needn't answer. But the glasses guy asks if he's been hiding strength. Then, he quickly shifts, they must go to the Modern History Memorial. The dark-haired man thinks his identity is too dangerous. He agrees to visit the memorial. Someone thinks the memorial holds records of post-death events. The scene shifts to a tram carrying students, including the dark-haired man and glasses guy, to the memorial. The newly awakened character processes the changed world, noting secret realm items now power carriages. He sees new things like secret realm items, wondering how they escaped when he thought only monster drops were taken. He spots an epic-grade chimera bone ring from a flesh secret realm boss. A history lesson: society suffered from SSS-level secret realms. King Luo Wei led the army, and despite losses, conquered it. At victory, King Luo Wei faced rebellion. Someone was backstabbed. The culprit is known. Equipment and skill books, like Sturdy Physique, now leave realms via inventory. These items are bought and sold outside. But the awakened character recalls items not in inventory vanished after a boss was defeated. He's examining a flexible physique skill, wondering what happened after his death. A grand city square has a massive statue. It represents the emperor who ended secret realm disasters. After hearing about the rebellion, the monument seems suspicious. The chapter opens in a grand outdoor area with students. Calls for Luo Wei and Yun Che are heard. A speaker mentions this was a famous rebellion battlefield over 50 years ago. A man observes a broken stone relief, hearing Yun Che called a traitor who betrayed a king. The man reacts, recalling an SSS-level secret realm ambush. The king's painful betrayal narrative continues. He fought through grief. With hero Ding Kuan's help, the rebellion was quelled. The man questions Ding Kuan's name, finding it suspicious. The glasses guy and others are surprised. Individuals thought swept into a new secret realm are alive. They can't believe it cleared so fast, assuming an expert was nearby. Students speculate some got lucky. Talk shifts to rumors of a new secret realm or disaster. Ding Su's name comes up. Things get tense. The dark-haired bully confronts a distressed Tian Zip, menacingly saying, "Damn, they actually survived. You guys sure are lucky." Tian Zip's problems continue. A student screams at Tian Zip, blaming him for almost getting them killed and demanding repayment. Tian Zip defends, yelling it was the student's fault, threatening to report them. Yun Che looks confused. Tian Zip points to a massive statue depicting a horned figure trampling an armored, defeated person, identified as the traitor Qiao En. The dark-haired bully grabs Tian Zip. Fuming, he screams Tian Zip is a descendant of the traitor Qiao En. Tian Zip cuts him off, "Insult me, but not my grandfather." Yun Che watches as more students gather, gossiping about Ding Su's grandfather, the hero Ding Kuan, and if Qiao Ji is a descendant of Qiao En. The crowd gets louder, accusing Tian Zip of being a traitor's heir, claiming Qiao En slaughtered many. An angry young man pushes forward, shouting at Tian Zip for insulting his grandfather. Tian Zip looks distressed. An unseen voice calls for a teacher to intervene for Qiao Ji. Tian Zip confronts the angry young man, "Apologize. The hero spared your family. If not grateful, don't slander him." The dark-haired bully grabs his victim's hair, menacingly saying no one cares about a mad dog. He boasts he's a hero's descendant, so he can't be wrong. The dark-haired bully yells, "For my grandfather's honor," as he violently throws his victim, vowing he'll never forgive. An intervener steps in, commenting on the hero's family and their parenting. A powerful strike occurs, a blurred figure taking impact. Tian Zip watches. Students are freaking out, shocked that Yun Che actually hit Ding Su, who is associated with the hero's family. They're flabbergasted, whispering Yun Che, the weakest level 5 kid with no background, must be crazy to attack Ding Su. Yun Che isn't crazy, he's incredibly fast, a blur of glowing purple hitting multiple targets. One furious opponent, caught off guard, vows to clean them all up. Yun Che lands a devastating hit, the angry young man coughs up blood. The angry young man is sprawled, spitting blood, bewildered that Yun Che knocked him down. Students stare, shocked, trying to understand what happened. Ding Su rages after being taken down, furious this level 5 trash support is stronger, blaming luck. His skill, Rage, buffs him with plus 25% attack power, while onlookers remain baffled. Ding Su equips his fire-forged hammer, plus 314 attack boost, and swings wide. Yun Che, noting the opening, activates his trick blade, striking with purple energy as his attack power spikes to 80%. With his 14-second attack power buff, Yun Che kicks Ding Su flying. Ding Su crashes, gasping, "Impossible." A man in uniform rushes over, people realize Ding Su is unconscious. Everyone panics, calling for healers, shocked by how fast it happened. Yun Che remains composed. Chaos spreads. Two women whisper about Yun Che's hidden level 5 strength. A guard shouts, breaking up fights. The angry young man still pins someone, claiming they insulted a hero and attacked the hero's descendant. It's not over. Ding Su makes one last attempt, conjuring blue energy. Yun Che's eyes glow purple. Shameless appears as he unleashes purple energy, effortlessly shattering Ding Su's attack, stunning onlookers. Yun Che, purple energy crackling, confronts teacher Qiao Ji, accusing him of bias. Qiao Ji, surprised after blocking Yun Che's sneak attack, denies it. Yun Che is shocked, wondering about Qiao Ji's gear. As Yun Che pulses, students defend Qiao Ji, who reels from his blocked attack. A student questions Yun Che's gear and backing. Yun Che wears an epic quality chimera bone ring, but it's at 37% durability. Yun Che calmly assesses the situation, deciding they're too weak to fight a level 35 teacher. He suggests their punishment is just expulsion, then tells Qiao Ji, "Let's go," and walks off. Tian Zip and others are floored. Yun Che blocked the teacher and left. Two figures head downstairs as chaos continues. Ding Su, previously unconscious, is suddenly recovered. Students trying to help him freak out, realizing he healed without a spell. A character laments no one survived, revealing Qiao Benben was killed by a hero ages ago. Another thinks someone should answer questions. Tian Zip looks visibly surprised, hearing all this for the first time. While Yun Che processes this, a student asks about hero Ding Kun. Another recounts public history. Ding Kun supposedly found Traitor Yun Che's plan, ambushed forces near an SSS-level rift, and stopped a rebellion. Yun Che listens intently. Yun Che questions a possible ambush near a rift, as panels depict a chaotic battle with armored figures resembling his past warrior form. The page describes hero Ding Kun's historical efforts to end the dungeon crisis, his training, promotion, and years of fighting to save regions, with a visual of a distressed, injured character. The page depicts the Winter City Cataclysm, a major historical battle, while Yun Che reacts to its mention. Two characters discuss a statue's sword, the Flowing Cloud Sword, historically used to slay the traitor Yun Che. A character expresses strong resentment over stolen accomplishments and a stolen sword, then vows to kill Kun. Tian Zip, worried about guards and Ding Su's return, urges Yun Che to leave. But Yun Che, focused on killing Ding Kun, refuses. Qiao Ji revealed Ding Kun's location in a high-level rift, requiring an army pass. He deduces Ding Su's house, as a hero's descendant, is the likely source for one. Yun Che is surprised by the numerous guards and the private rift in Ding Kun's descendant's home. Tian Zip explains that low-level rifts are bought by the wealthy, allowing people like Ding Su to farm monsters and level up anytime. In contrast, ordinary students only get limited leveling opportunities during school training, often fighting for them. Yun Che grasps that wealth and power correlate with level. Tian Zip confirms this, stating most people stagnate at level 15 to 20 post-graduation due to lack of rift access. Even specialized jobs barely reach level 30 by middle age, like Ding Su's guards who leech XP. Higher levels require joining the army, a guild, or officer schools for advanced rift access. This reinforces Yun Che's resolve to get that pass. Tian Zip again urges them to retreat, believing Yun Che can't overcome the guard's level advantage. Yun Che acknowledges he's not ready to face Ding Kun or Luo Wei, but assures Tian Zip infiltrating Ding Su's estate is feasible. He notes level 30 scout skills like Eagle Eye, Enhanced Hearing, or Mouse Spirit Summon, have limited range, insufficient for the estate, and he expects lax guards, as it's not a dangerous rift. Yun Che dismisses current scouting as lax compared to his past life. He warns Tian Zip that trespassing in a private rift means death without repercussions. Grabbing Tian Zip, Yun Che asks if he wants to change his life. When Tian Zip mentions joining a guild, Yun Che interrupts, revealing, "You're the great-grandson of the traitor Qiao Ji." He emphasizes fate must be changed now, not by gambling on the future. Yun Che declares he's entering the rift, telling Tian Zip to follow or not. He challenges Tian Zip, asking if he'll echo his ancestor Qiaoen's choice. Worried for Yun Che, Tian Zip decides to follow him, not letting him die alone. Yun Che simply instructs him to be quiet and careful, noting no active scout skills. They successfully infiltrate the Ding family courtyard undetected. Beneath it, they discover another rift, containing shadow demon zombies. Yun Che notes this rift is slightly higher level than their last one. Inside the cemetery-like rift, Yun Che observes few monsters, likely due to regular clearing. He points out two mobs, pushing Tian Zip into battle. Tian Zip is immediately overwhelmed, yelling his regret about trusting Yun Che, desperate to go home as a zombie attacks. Yun Che urges Tian Zip to fight back, reassuring him he's safe. Tian Zip, identified by his system as Qi Zhe, a level 6 shield bearer, defends with a glowing shield, repelling a zombie. Yun Che notes Tian Zip's natural talent, but also his timidity and panic, making him rely solely on defense. Despite struggling, Tian Zip takes minimal damage. As he cries out, Yun Che steps in with his trick blade skill, boosting his attack by plus 70%. Together, they defeat the level 8 shadow demon. Tian Zip, who is also Qiao Ji, levels up to level 7, gaining 3 free stat points, marking his great-grandson's first step. Yun Che explains EXP is divided by contribution, meaning Tian Zip needs to actively unbalance enemies to earn significant EXP, even if Yun Che does most of the killing. Tian Zip asks about Yun Che's stat allocation, who reveals points spread evenly, excluding spirit. Tian Zip then explains he invested in agility, despite being unconventional for shield bearers, as slowness in past teams meant missing EXP. Yun Che mentors Tian Zip on long-term character building, explaining that level 60 advanced classes like Fortified Bastion demand high stats, such as 60 stamina and 90 defense. He stresses most people barely reach level 40, but Tian Zip must aim for S-rank and beyond. Yun Che also acknowledges he still needs to determine his own class path. Yun Che reflects on his support class's reliance on Mirror World and his plan to change classes soon. Suddenly, a system notification surprises him. Killing zombies converted their monster souls into Mirror World element, granting his Mirror World skill 2000 EXP. He's stunned, unaware his Mirror World skill could level up. Alright, so last time, Yun Che and Tian Zip were busting into the Ding family's private rift, fighting off those shadow demon zombies, and Yun Che just figured out his Mirror World skill can level up from monster souls. Now, this chapter kicks off with Yun Che still in the thick of it, using his trick blade skill for a massive 70% attack boost as he takes down even more monstrous figures. But just as he's about to finish off a tough greed demon, his trick blade boost vanishes. Yun Che realizes he can't keep up the high-intensity combat without more stamina. Still, he's making serious progress. He's already leveled up twice, hitting level 17, and his Mirror World skill just got another 2000 EXP from 2 zombie, elite, souls. Seriously fast progress here. The good times might be ending, though. Yun Che and Xiao Ji notice the Ding family guards are patrolling way more frequently, and the monster count is dropping, making their infiltration super risky. Yun Che's also struggling to juggle the combat, the guards, and his skill calculations. He finds some sluggish bracers and a mana brick art skill book, but he's not sure how useful a reversed phase shift that just moves bricks will be. Yun Che checks his Mirror World skill again. It's at level 1, and he's still 30% away from the next level. He decides his best bet for a quick power-up is to take on this realm's boss. He figures if he can defeat the Central Area's Lord, his Mirror World skill should jump straight to level 2. Talk about a power move. They find the Realm Lord alright, but it's not what they expected. It's chained up and totally controlled, guarded by a ton of teachers and guards. Tian Zip is totally amazed, saying he's never seen a controlled lord before, and he thinks the chains must be some crazy high-level gear. Yun Che, ever the strategist, knows he can't take on the lord with all those guards swarming him. So, Yun Che changes tactics immediately, he'll take out the guards first. He wastes no time, activating Trick Blade for a massive 150% attack boost and swiftly crippling one of the armored guards. When Yun Che goes to interrogate him, the guard quickly spills, saying the Ding family isn't worth dying for. Yun Che's ready to get some answers about the main mission. Yun Che, still determined to get a pass to a hero realm, manages to get Ding Su to spill the beans. Turns out, passes to a hero realm are just chilling in his great-grandfather's study, and Ding Su's seen his grandpa use them a bunch with the head guard. Tian Zip gets all worried, warning that they'll get stopped without a proper guide. But Yun Che just brushes him off, telling him to empty his system backpack. Yun Che is still level 17, and he's clearly got a plan brewing. Next, Yun Che's grilling one of the guards about chanting skill books. The guard, looking stressed, explains how stingy the Ding family is. Every single item dropped in a realm has to be turned in, and guards only get scraps. Yun Che then asks about the inner residence. The guard reveals it's where the really strong people are, all level 30 plus with top-tier gear, including the family head. Guards can't even get in without a summons. We also see two different passive skills, both named Phase Shift, Reversed, listed, one for death after being healed, and another for ATK after using a healing skill. Talk about a confusing but interesting combo. Suddenly, things go absolutely wild. An armored figure, who they call the Lord, just goes completely berserk, wrapped up in purple chains, right outside the Ding family mansion. Everyone's panicking, rushing into the realm to provide support. In the middle of all this chaos, Yun Che somehow snags himself some level 60 equipment. Talk about perfect timing. He declares that with this new gear, he can now easily waltz right into the inner residence. The game just changed. Alright, so last time, Yun Che just leveled to 17, got some sweet level 60 gear, and knows Ding Kun Study has hero realm passes. He's ready to infiltrate the inner residence. But first, we cut to the Ding family's main gate where the second master, Ding Hao, is arriving. He's talking about how his recent mishap with Yun Che was just carelessness. Someone also tells Miss Yun Sha to get out of the car, leaving her identity and connection unclear. Then two individuals in school uniforms walking by a white car, but their identities aren't clear, so we quickly move back to our boys. Yun Che and Tian Zip are walking, and Yun Che asks Tian Zip what's wrong, noting the Ding family has returned. Tian Zip is staring at someone inside a building, clearly shocked. Yun Che, ever the show-off, casually mentions that he's already subdued the level 30 secret realm lord, which he states is not easy to capture alive. Tian Zip then reveals the man he's looking at, who is level 17 and crouching, is actually his uncle Qiao Li. Someone, a man with glasses, begins to explain the horrific history of the Qiao family. He tells Yun Che that after Yun Che himself rebelled, his family was exterminated. But then, the Qiao family endured even worse. Hero Ding Kun issued secret orders that led to severe bullying against them, eventually forcing them into servitude to the Ding family, living in total degradation just to survive. Tian Zip continues, saying his elders tried to change things too, but it only led to his father losing his mind and his uncle becoming the Ding family's dog. He questions if he was right to come along with Yun Che into such a dangerous place, especially with Ding Su's father, a level 42, fully equipped threat, inside the inner residence. But Yun Che remains determined, stating that in an era where secret realms are controlled, they must take risks to reverse their fate. Then, a character in armor, emanating a spiky, determined aura, declares his ultimate goal, what he truly wants to resist, what he will fight against, is the entire empire. While all that chaos was going down with the Berserk Realm Lord, we cut to some new faces arriving at the Ding family mansion. Ding Su's uncle is there, doing the polite host thing, and it looks like a super important guest, Miss Yun Sha, is visiting. Apparently, Ding Kun, hero grandpa himself, is all hyped to meet them. One of the visitors is overhearing all this, and notes that entering the hero's secret realm requires a permit and an escort. Yun Che then spots another high-status guest, a woman named Yun Miao. He notices she shares his surname, Yun. But he quickly pushes that thought aside. His priority is still getting one of those entry permits. Meanwhile, the Ding family is still reeling from the mess. The secret realm lord has finally been subdued, and the family head, Ding Peng, identified as a level 42 powerhouse, expresses concern. Someone released the lord with ill intent, and now that person is nowhere to be found. He orders the inner residence sealed immediately, concerned that nothing should disturb the important young lady who agreed to visit. Back to Yun Che. He's trying to make his move, but suddenly, he sees guards everywhere. They're increasing in number in the area, and he feels a sense of urgency. He thinks, did they find us? He recalls a flashback, people desperately telling a woman and child to run, while a man resembling Luo Wei captures someone. Yun Che knows he has to escape quietly, or he'll lose his chance. Yun Che makes an offer of help that is conditional on a choice. Suddenly, Tian Zip lets out a scream. Ah! The guards hear it immediately. Over there. They shout, rushing towards a building. Tian Zip yells to Yun Che, I'll distract them. Just make sure you don't get caught. As Tian Zip creates the diversion, Yun Che activates his power, generating shards of energy, and pulls on a black mask. So, Yun Che has totally gone rogue. He's flying away, taunting the guards who are trying to catch him. He's yelling that he's got the chains and skill books now, daring them to come get it. He's using his slow light skill, which has gotten even better, slowing down everyone within 30 meters by 30%. A leader is freaking out, realizing Yun Che isn't trying to escape out of the rift, but is heading straight for the secret realm where the Lord is. Yun Che thinks to himself, wondering why everyone got lured away from the secret realm Lord. But then he realizes, with all the guards out chasing him, it must mean that the Lord has already been subdued. And not just subdued, its HP must be super low right now. This is a massive opportunity for him. He knows that killing the Lord is exactly what he needs to level up his mirror world skill. Miss Yun Sha is just chilling in a super fancy room with Ding Hao, who's the second master of the Ding family. He's totally dismissive about all the noise outside, just calling it petty thieves that his older brother can easily handle. But then we cut to Ding Peng, the head of the Ding family, and he is not chilling. He's yelling, super agitated, telling someone to stop blocking him and to get straight to the Lord. Meanwhile, Yun Che is hauling ass. He's a level 17 chanter, and he's been dumping most of his points into agility, so he's zooming past guards. He even brags that only level 30 rogues and archers might even have a chance of keeping up with his speed. He's making a beeline for the Lord, which he finds chained up in a magical seal. It's a level 30 Yuno sanctified paladin, but it's totally crippled and has super low HP. Yun Che knows this is its weakest moment, and he plans to stack his power to the max to finish it in one strike. But before he can, the guards finally catch up, shouting, he's here. Formation. As they try to block his path. He retaliates with a skill named, Huanluan Jingji, which bursts out as purple thorny energy. The armed fighters are completely caught off guard, freaking out because they've never seen a skill like it before. This skill is all about abnormal statuses, and it's super potent. Even though most humans are pretty resistant, one of the fighters gets hit and immediately becomes confused. The guards are baffled, wondering how a skill could have such an insane status affliction rate. Yun Che weaves through the confused fighters, observing their lack of teamwork. He thinks they've grown soft from peacetime. He lands a solid hit on one of the enemies with his glowing weapon, making good progress towards the Lord. That's when Ding Peng, the level 42 head of the Ding family, steps up. He's had enough, declaring he'll take care of Yun Che himself, and charges forward with a flaming axe. But Yun Che's not stopping for anyone. He whips out some powerful glowing purple chains. He explains that even though he's not high enough level to fully equip them for their stats, their durability is like a level 60 item. He's planning to use the chain's massive impact force to break through the seal layer that's holding the Lord. He slams them down with incredible power, falling downwards in the middle of the glowing chains. Yun Che wastes no time. He zips straight to the chained level 30 Yuma sanctified paladin, the Lord, who's still chained up and barely hanging on. The Lord, a level 30 Yuma sanctified paladin, is at super low HP, but still furious. Yun Che just drops a sarcastic thanks, saying, thanks for the lift. And immediately declares he's taking all the Lord's EXP. With a swift attack, he takes down the weakened boss, and bam. Yun Che levels up a whopping 3 times to level 20. Even better, his Mirror World skill finally hits level 2. The system confirms it, Mirror World's EXP is maxed out, and the skill is now level 2. Just as multiple armed characters charge in yelling and ready to attack, Yun Che activates his newly leveled skill. Before anyone can even lay a hand on him, he completely vanishes. The armed characters are left bewildered by Yun Che's sudden disappearance. Yun Che reappears in a surreal, distorted landscape. He's surrounded by towering, strange structures that look like broken glass or reflections. He quickly realizes where he is. This place is a world inside the mirror. The system confirms it, he's in the mirror world, and he's currently on a mirror walk with a timer showing 29 minutes and 51 seconds remaining. What even is this place? So, Yun-Che is officially in his mirror world, and it's wild. It's literally a flipped version of the real world, but not everything is a simple reflection. He's got about 29 minutes left on his mirror walk timer, and he's already figuring out some guards are just illusions, while others are real. He even picked up a mirror stone that the system says he can take out into the real world. Plus, we get a peek at his skill list. Phantom Technique, Chaotic Thorns, and Blade of Tricks are active, but a bunch of others are still grayed out. Yun-Che quickly realizes what the inactive skills mean. They're reversed forms of actual skills, but to activate them, he first needs to learn their original versions in the real world. This is huge for his strategy. He now knows he can pre-plan powerful skill combos, giving him a massive advantage in his future advancement path. Yun-Che is totally pumped about this new discovery, realizing the mirror world isn't just a combat zone but also a planning tool. Just when he thought he had it figured out, Yun-Che spots ethereal souls floating around, and some of them have turned into undead monsters. He wastes no time, defeating one with his glowing pink sword. Suddenly, a new system window pops up, Undead Contract. This means he can literally contract these souls, and once contracted, they can leave the mirror world and fight for him in the real world. He has 0 out of 20 slots available, and their max level will cap at his own current level. Talk about an army builder. Yun-Che's just absorbing this new power. The level 2 mirror world lets him bring items and even undead out. That's insane. Meanwhile, back in the real world, the secret realm he was just in has completely faded. A group of armored men are gathered, looking pretty confused. One of them asks, why hasn't he shown up? They have no idea what Yun-Che has been up to in the mirror world. The armored men are getting super agitated. They can't figure out how Yun-Che just vanished into thin air. One of the armored men points out that their stealth skills have physical forms and time limits, so this kind of disappearance is completely unheard of. Another angry armored man grabs his subordinate, practically yelling at him for letting Yun-Che escape, threatening him with the cost of the secret realm. Right at that moment, with a flash, Yun-Che reappears directly in the middle of them. His mirror walk time limit is up, and he's back, right where the chaos is brewing. He's wondering if he always returns to the exact same spot, or if there's a trick to it. Yun-Che immediately summons an army of green glowing undead monsters. He states he deserves a little payback after being ganged up on, and he's ready to deliver it. The armored men he's fighting are surprised and quickly become defensive. One shouts, "What is this? Evil spirits." While another attempts to reassure his allies, identifying them as undead-type monsters. An armored man is already defending himself with a sword and shield against one of the monsters. Yun-Che quickly checks the stats of one of his summons, an undead bone spirit. It's only level 20, which seems weaker than he'd prefer for this fight. Meanwhile, an unidentified leader of the armored opponents tries to rally his troops, telling them not to panic and promising everyone a raise if they catch Yun-Che. The armored men respond with enthusiasm, ready to counterattack, but then Yun-Che vanishes, completely disappearing from their sight and leaving them confused and searching for him. Yun-Che is thinking, wishing he had higher tier undead for this. He's already contracted the top 20 strongest ones he could find. He realizes there are exploration boundaries in the mirror world, where he can only move within a 200-meter radius of where he entered. Having reached his limit, he'll have to enter from another spot next time to find stronger summons. Suddenly, Yun-Che confronts an armored opponent, grabbing him by the throat. He expresses, "Thought I would miss you," and ponders the reward for catching the opponent. With a swift, glowing strike, he attacks the armored opponent, leaving a visible scar on his forehead. Observing the chaos among his enemies, Yun-Che declares he's leaving. He notes that they are completely disorganized and in a mess. He decides it's time to head back and tally the spoils. An armored opponent attempts to reach out for him as he departs. Yun-Che's mirror world is activated, and his undead contract lets him summon an army. His powers cause chaos as skeletal figures attack armored men. A system window shows Yun-Che as a necromancer beastmaster, level 20, with 140 MP. Armored men are overwhelmed by level 20 death spirit skeletons. Individually weak, they endlessly revive, baffling soldiers who can't stop their relentless attacks. Ding Gu, level 52 third master of the Ding family, deduces these are summons costing mana to revive. If killed repeatedly, mana will run out. Meanwhile, at the Ding family residence, Miss Yunmiao's return is questioned. Inside, a man profusely apologizes to Ding Dan, level 57 Great Master of the Ding family. Ding Dan is furious, they failed to keep Miss Yunmiao, and an unknown intruder broke into the inner residence, escaping undetected. A massive failure. Ding Hao reassures Ding Dan that Miss Yunsha agreed to the hero's secret realm, settling Grandpa's matter. Still fuming, Ding Dan vows to kill the intruder and orders a check for stolen items. A secret realm entry permit for QOZHI for administration is visible. Yun Che is satisfied, he has the pass. Now he needs entry to the hero's secret realm. He leveled up to 20 during his visit to the Ding house, stealing over a dozen support skill books. His Chimera Bone Ring is at 94% damage, but he got what he came for. Yun Che takes stock of new power-ups, Battle Song Chant for a critical buff, Shield Song Chant, Reversal for defensive counter, and Passive Power Boost skill adding +3 strength. He also got Corrupted Knight Armor, a rare level 30 chest piece with a huge defense boost, despite a spirit cost. His Mirror World skill leveled up to LV.2. He feels confident these stats will let him crush anyone at his level. Despite enhanced strength and summoned undead, Yun Che feels he's not strong enough. He notes a hero figure's S-class berserker equipment, realizing he needs to be over level 50 and contract a high-rank undead to stand a chance. Tian Zip asks if they're still chased. Yun Che reassures Tian Zip, Xiao Ji, they've shaken off pursuers and weren't recognized. He then asks Tian Zip about nearby secret realms where powerful people died. Tian Zip looks anxious but listens. Tian Zip confirms Yun Che wants the school's secret realm for leveling. However, he explains it's monopolized, making sneaking in impossible. They'll need special means. Tian Zip is surprised by a super rare purple grade vagabond class skill book. Yun Che asks if it's for him, making Tian Zip realize Yun Che has serious backing. Secret realm access is for graduating students, but outstanding ones can get a teacher's recommendation. Tian Zip vows to fight for Yun Che's. Soon, Yun Che is inside, ready to farm monsters, knowing this is his last chance. Others thank a hero for this gift. In the heroic secret realm, Yun Che immediately senses something off. A man explains it's a hero's gift, where epic battle traces against Traitor Jon might remain. Yun Che quietly observes. Tian Zip considers telling Yun Che something important. A speaker warns the high-level realm requires caution, telling Xiao Xie to join the main group. Xiao Xie complains about babysitting, but a student pushes them in. Inside, a purple-haired armored character is annoyed, glaring at Yun Che and the cloaked figure. They call them freeloaders, warning them to stay behind or be left if they mess up. Yun Che, eyes glowing purple, feels strong danger in this level 20 to 40 area. Chapter 11 opens with a character with dark hair and intense glowing purple eyes, wielding a giant purple sword. They're surrounded by purple energy and spectral skull figures, setting a powerful vibe. We're immediately in the hero's secret realm, where students are surprised to see Miss Yunsha and Yunin. They question why these perceived lower grades are there, noting their presence is a big deal. An armored man hopes Yunsha and Yunin might join them, but another immediately corrects him. He reminds everyone that Yunsha and Yunin are over level 30, far beyond their group, highlighting a huge power gap. Suddenly, Yun Che wakes up on the ground in an eerie blue crystal environment. Tian Zip, Miss Yunsha, and the black-haired woman are nearby. Yun Che immediately recognizes Yunsha as the high-status guest from the Ding family mansion, confused why she's here. Yunsha approaches Yun Che, smiling. She says she saw him at a memorial and compliments his moves and unique voice, claiming she recognized it even through the chaos of breaking glass. Yun Che wonders if she knew his body's original owner or if she's working for Ding Su. Yunsha casually tells Yun Che she recognized him from just 2 shouted sentences yesterday. She quickly says her hellos are done and leaves to explore with the dark-haired woman. Yun Che is stunned, wondering how much she knows about him. Yun Che still thinks about the woman who recognized him, giving him a private message instead of exposing him. He wonders if it was a reminder, fearing Ding Su might have recognized his voice during their escape. But he's not worried, confident his leveling speed will soon make the Ding family a non-issue. A man warns two women to be careful, sensing a dangerous vibe in this secret realm. A blonde woman in a witch hat agrees, finding the strangeness unexpected for her level. Then, Miss Yun Sha appears, thanking someone for the reminder. A group of armored students immediately notices, surprised by her unusual aloofness. They badger Yun Che, asking how he knows her and begging for an introduction. A male character apologizes, saying he and his companion must leave. Other armored students are shocked, warning that all monsters here are at least level 20, posing a deadly threat to lower grades. But an intervening student steps in, reasoning that if the male is close with Yun Sha, he's probably not low level and they should just be let go. The armored students debate. One mentions Teacher Li told them to look after a low-level group, but another reminds them of their mission, secrecy about an important place and its precious crystals. The purple-haired student cuts in, saying everyone has a distress flare, so they should just ignore the duo. As students decide to abandon the duo, an unidentified armored man watches with a stern expression. Back at the entrance, things are chaotic. Yun Che, face bandaged, asks about a team that just entered, and an unidentified man questions his intentions. Meanwhile, a man in a suit dismisses attempts to blame others for a memorial incident, mentioning Yun Che and Chiji, but stating he's too busy for minor problems. Aksu is on the floor, desperately claiming he recognized the voices of the intruders who broke in. The man in a suit quickly dismisses him, saying it's impossible for students to escape so many guards. He demands solid proof of intruders being stronger than his guards before he'll help. Then, a long-haired, bearded character cuts the conversation short, saying, "Enough." Before more can be said, the purple-haired armored student from last chapter storms in, furious. Someone tries to tell them to back off, but they yell that Yun Che and Xiao Ji both went into the secret realm and declare they're going in too. Drama at the entrance quickly escalates as more rush into the realm. Right away, a huge, unknown creature starts blasting magic rays. But Xiao Ji, our shield-bearer, quickly casts surrounding shield, creating fluid shields with strong durability and defense. He also uses encouraging shout, boosting Yun Che's attack and speed by 5%. It works perfectly. Boosted by Xiao Ji's shout and his trick blade, Yun Che takes down an ice monster with his glowing weapon. Big victory. They both level up, Yun Che to level 21 as a chanter, and Xiao Ji to level 11 as a shield bearer. They even get 3 free stat points each. Things are looking up for our guys. Exploring a crystalline cave, Yun Che realizes how vital Xiao Ji's new skills are. The skill books from the Ding family really hooked Xiao Ji up with surrounding shield and encouraging shout. Even with tough monsters around, Xiao Ji's support is a game changer. Yun Che recalls a teacher mentioning a rare obsidian beast here that might drop a support skill called gravitational pull. Yun Che remembers gravitational pull is a must-have skill he marked in his mirror world. He also senses undead here, figuring they're the souls of powerful people who died in this realm. He plans to search for them on high ground, and right then, he spots a huge, crystalline creature on a rocky outcrop. Yun Che and Xiao Ji observe the mysterious creature. Yun Che confirms his system identifies it as a wandering type. This chapter dives back into the hero's secret realm, giving us lore on super rare and strong wandering type monsters. These guys roam freely, have caused countless disasters historically, but drop massive EXP and loot if you can beat them. Yun Che is fighting a level 30 obsidian crystal warrior. He's just probing its defenses because this thing is seriously strong and constantly regenerates HP. Yun Che is already pushing his limits, probably wishing for some continuous healing. These monsters are brutal, launching fast, frequent energy attacks. Yun Che's getting blasted, his HP down to 242 out of 720. He realizes his HP and defense are too low, without Xiao Ji's surrounding shield, he'd be severely injured. Even Yun Che's level 23 undead skeletal spirits are getting torn apart. He realizes his own low HP and defense mean the only way to beat these monsters is a huge defense boost from Xiao Ji. New plan, they'll grind normal monsters to level up Xiao Ji first. Yun Che takes Xiao Ji to a scouted low-level grinding zone. He knows shieldbearers like Xiao Ji are crucial tanks, absorbing hits as the first line of defense. Xiao Ji, already level 20, wisely put all his stat points into defense and wears looted Ding family armor, allowing Yun Che to plan attacks. Xiao Ji, the shield bearer at level 11, is already massively improved. He's blocking level 20 monster attacks, with his basic shield durability only dropping 4%. Yun-Che observes Xiaoji bracing, but even with better defense, Xiaoji still takes a hit from a crystalline monster. He's definitely earning that level up. Yun-Che is truly putting Xiaoji through his paces, coaching him on essential shield-bearer combat techniques. He emphasizes watching the enemy's next move, not overcommitting the shield, and only tensing at the last second. Xiaoji also needs to be fully aware of his teammates behind him. Smart training for leveling up. All that hard training pays off immediately. Yun-Che levels up to 22, gaining 3 free stat points. His HP jumps to 670, MP to 140. He's now earning more EXP and can confidently face stronger enemies. It really shows that when the power gap is small, technique is everything. And it's not just Yun-Che powering up. Xiaoji hits level 15, super excited to learn shield armor. This rare skill, from a looted Ding family book, adds outer armor to his summoned shield, greatly boosting its durability and defense. Over in Crystal Pillar Canyon, 3 teachers, Zhuangzheng, Lei Lai, and Lei Yan, are scouting. They're freaking out because the area is swarming with dangerous elite wandering-type monsters, far too much for students. Suddenly, a golden streak shoots across the sky, hinting at more trouble. A student distress signal is detected. Teachers prioritize rescue but remember the dangerous wandering types. They debate who should stay to watch the monsters. Xiaoji points out 2 teachers might not be enough if the monsters are the cause. Yun-Che steps up, suggesting he and Xiaoji watch this side. He's got a plan. Yun-Che tells the teachers the wandering types are slow and haven't spotted them, so they should just observe from a distance. He warns them not to act alone because these monsters are super dangerous. The blonde teacher agrees. Yun-Che, with a confident glint, declares those wandering types aren't escaping him now. Looks like he and Xiaoji are tackling the big threat. Yun-Che is still in beast mode, laying into this level 30 luminous crystal golem. He's tearing through it with those purple energy attacks and even some serious punches. He takes it down, feeling like he's really hitting his stride with his class. Phew. That was a huge fight. Yun-Che levels up again thanks to all that elite monster XP. He's like, man, if only my attack power was even higher. He picks up some items, and receives notifications for Rat Eradication Team and Hostage and Oath of the Soldier. And get this, he just picked up a crystal longsword that boosts his attack by a whopping 552. Yun-Che is hyped, thinking battles are gonna be way easier now. But he's a little bummed the Gravity Pull skill book, which he really wants, didn't drop. Just as he's reflecting, a special grade distress signal, the kind only teachers use, goes off in the sky. Ah-oh. Following the signal, Yun-Che discovers a massive horde of crystalline wandering-type monsters swarming this huge cavern filled with purple and blue crystals. He's not alone though, there are 2 women with him, just as shocked, watching human-like figures funneling into the chaos through glowing archways. Everyone's asking, why are so many monsters gathered here? A bearded man from the teacher squad explains that they follow the signal and people are trapped inside the cave. But there are just too many monsters, even for all the teachers combined. He desperately asks the blonde woman and her companion for help. The blonde woman agrees that it's their duty and immediately starts casting a powerful spell called Star Play Secret Art. You can see the magical circle forming. Yun-Che observes his group's combat. A powerful skill buff, described as super strong and epic grade, hits the whole group, boosting their mental power by 2 and attack by a solid 20%. A woman in a white hat is using some heavy pressure skill, while another in a red cloak goes in for a stealth stab. Yun-Che acknowledges the top-notch skills and gear of the woman in the white hat and the woman in the red cloak, which he attributes to Yun-Sha and Yunin. They quickly take down a level 30 radiant crystal stone monster, draining all its HP. Seeing how capable they are, Yun-Che figures they've got the monster situation handled and can definitely rescue whoever sent the distress signal. He decides he doesn't need to stick around and can go on ahead alone. An ally adventurer from their group is already saying there are a lot more wandering types around and decides to scout ahead, telling someone to stay with the others. But then, poof! Yun-Che just appears, having activated his mirror walk skill. He notes that this whole area is covered in crystals, which means he can hop into the mirror world whenever he wants. Smart. He's got almost 30 minutes left on his mirror walk, but he remembers from the Ding residence that he couldn't get back into mirror walk after it timed out. He's still trying to figure out how to reliably return to reality from the mirror world. So, a little bit of a mystery there, even for him. Inside the mirror world, he sees monster corpses just chilling there. This makes him wonder if he's the only living thing with a physical form in this weird mirror dimension. He then spots a group of figures, including one possibly named Ji Xiaoxia, who look like they were the ones who stirred up all the wandering types and sent out that distress signal earlier. They're holding their ground in a narrow crystal-filled passage, so thankfully, they're not in immediate danger. It seems they triggered this whole thing. The area is so full of crystals it's hard to tell where to go, but Yun Che is on the move, continuing his solo investigation. Then, someone exclaims, "There's actually something like this here." A dark-haired guy with glowing purple eyes and twin blades, surrounded by shadowy energy, is shown. We don't know who he is yet, but he looks seriously powerful. Back with Yun Che in the mirror world, he's found these weird green crystals. A system window pops up and, get this, they're called mirror crystal ore. Not only are they super valuable, but the system says they can be used to return to the real world from any mirror surface. Yun Che quickly pockets some of this game-changing ore, realizing he finally has a reliable exit strategy. He keeps exploring, noticing just how much of this valuable ore is scattered around. Seriously, Yun Che thinks there's enough here to make an ordinary person a billionaire. But for now, he's more focused on what else this strange mirror world holds than striking it rich. Meanwhile, the man in armor and his companions are still fighting. The man in armor is super relieved, thinking they're saved, but Miss Yun Sha and the female character in the dark outfit caution them not to let their guard down. Still, Miss Yun Sha does observe that the fight has gotten significantly easier, making others react with surprise. Flipping back to Yun Che, he's now deep in a maze-like section of the mirror world, surrounded by tons of those glowing wandering-type monsters. It's like the entire secret realm's population is here. Suddenly, he spots it, a massive, glowing green crystal structure that just dominates the cavern. He's totally taken aback by the sheer scale of it. Yun Che immediately recognizes it. This isn't just any crystal, it's a mirror crystal core, the unique hidden treasure of this secret realm. It's the crystallized essence of all the realm's special products, super rare, and gives incredible buffs. If he uses it, he'll get plus 10 stamina, a boost to mana recovery, and even minus 20% light and electric damage. Talk about hitting the jackpot. Yun Che is in the mirror world. He's found this insane hidden treasure that's not just a regular item, it's a huge stat boost. It adds to his HP limit, speeds up mana recovery, which means even more trick blades for him, and gives him crazy damage reduction, even against light and electric attacks. Plus, it doesn't even take up an equipment slot, which is super rare. He's thinking, this is too good, why isn't there a stronger monster guarding something like this? The system prompts him to collect use and warns it'll cost 10 minutes of mirror walk time, but he's ready to grab it and go. But then, bam. Just as Yun Che is about to make his move, the ground cracks open and this massive, crystalline creature emerges. It's huge. And the visible dialogue reveals, this is the wandering type, Lord. It's the hidden boss. So, yeah, he was right to expect something stronger, because this thing is definitely it. Utter chaos erupts in the hero's secret realm. People are panicking, screaming about a huge monster and fearing they'll all die. But Miss Yun Sha, cool as ever, steps up. She tells everyone to calm down, points out a canyon as their escape route from the basin, and rallies them to charge with everything they've got to get out of there. The blonde man, using a skill called Shifting Light Shield that crackles with golden energy, takes point. He shouts that getting the students out is the main priority, leading the charge against a horde of purple rock monsters. A shield-wielding man blocks attacks, and a brown-haired woman casts a supporting spell, but the monsters just keep coming, and a massive, glowing purple rock monster appears right behind them, radiating power. That huge rock monster is no joke. It bellows out battle cry, rally, supercharging all the smaller monsters. Then it follows up with Crystal Halo, buffing every monster around it with plus 20% HP, attack, and defense. The human soldiers are completely overwhelmed, yelling about how many monsters there are, and the fight gets even more desperate. The attacks are relentless. The bearded teacher gets hit by purple energy beams, completely overwhelmed, and dies right there. An ally screams in despair as Miss Yun Sha tries to regain control, ordering the shield guards to the front and healers to focus on them. An ally grimly notes that things are dire, and the really scary part is that the actual, Wandering Lord, hasn't even made its move yet. With hope fading, a man with an eye patch advises everyone to try and escape on their own, using some sort of stealth skill to slip through a gap. The golden armored man warns the rogue's I-class not to follow him, while someone else expresses concern that their stealth duration won't be enough for escape. But it's too late. A new, even more massive crystal monster, radiating raw power, appears and blasts the golden armored man with a powerful energy attack. Remember how Yun Che was about to grab that mirror crystal core in the mirror world? Well, before he could, the massive, wandering type, Lord absolutely decimated someone with a blast, turning them to ashes. The attack was so powerful it collapsed the whole canyon, and the terrified armored man realizes there's no escape. The Lord's attack power is just too insane. Meanwhile, back in the real world, things are just as chaotic. We cut to Miss Yun Sha and a group of allies, desperately trying to hold a defensive line against a monster horde. They're using this incredible level 70 epic rock mountain shield. It's got 3000 defense and 80 core resistance, but Miss Yun Sha explains it's too high level for anyone to properly equip. They can barely move it, using it only to stall for precious time. Everyone's in disbelief, wondering why a monster like this is even in the school's secret realm. A distressed armored commander is blaming someone else, while he also laments that all his past efforts to save people might now be for nothing. And then him, Xiao Ji, pushing against something, clearly struggling in the middle of the chaos. An ally even points him out, saying, "That's the student." Just when they thought it couldn't get worse, more wandering species monsters attack from behind. They weren't supposed to cross the valley. The character with glasses immediately yells, "Encircling shield." Trying to rally their defenses, but it's too late, the surrounding shields are already broken. A blonde armored ally takes a massive hit, his HP plummeting to a dangerous 257 out of 2070. But before the monsters can press their advantage, a powerful dark-haired armored man unexpectedly jumps in to counterattack. The situation is dire, all the shield guards' defenses are completely gone. Xiao Ji is severely injured, bleeding from the mouth, and the armored commander even declares that there's no saving them now. But just as despair sets in, a familiar purple glow appears. Yun Che enters the combat, his crystal longsword blazing, and immediately slashes into a crystalline monster. He takes a moment to tell the injured Xiao Ji, "You did well." The injured armored man, covered in blood, calls out Yun Che. And Yun Che, his eyes glowing purple, just calmly responds, "Leave the rest to me." Looks like the cavalry has finally arrived, and Yun Che is ready to take charge. Yun Che selects the use action for the most valuable mirror crystal core. He instantly gains 10 stamina, a boost to his magic recovery speed, and some resistance to light and electric elements. But then, a massive tremor hits the mirror world, and Yun Che wonders if he can still return from it. Turns out, Yun Che quickly figures out that as long as his mirror walk time isn't fully depleted, he can freely enter and exit the mirror world whenever he wants. The cooldown only kicks in once that timer runs out. And just like that, with a confident glow in his purple eyes, he's back in the real world. More of those crystal ore-like monsters are pouring in, and Yun Che identifies a massive new threat, a Wandering Lord. He expresses concern about Xiao Ji and everyone else stuck fighting, but he's already strategizing. He knows he can use the mirror world to dodge their attacks easily, and checks his status, he's level 24 now. Yun Che quickly evaluates his current power, his total magic is 140, and with that core bonus, his magic recovery speed is now 2.6 per second. That means his trick blade's attack power can rise up to 330%. He activates a boost, getting 180% blade attack for 8 seconds. Even with all that, he realizes he needs to hit at least level 30 to properly take on this Wandering Lord, which is even stronger than a typical domain boss. Then he exits the mirror world, immediately entering combat. Yun Che exits the mirror world and engages wandering spawn monsters, slashing through a crystalline monster with his glowing purple sword. An ally praises a bloody and injured Xiao Ji. Xiao Ji, though battered, calls out Yun Che's name and urges an unseen person to leave the rest to me, then activates his ring-type armor skill. Yun Che declares he will handle the wandering spawn monsters and shouts for anyone with support skills to buff him up. Miss Yun Sha casts her Star Trick Magic Shield, providing buffs of mental +2 and attack power +20% to Yun Che. Yun Che observes the high number of enemies on the battlefield. So Yun Che is absolutely going off on these crystalline monsters, phasing around like crazy. He explains that after using that crystal core, his HP is now several times higher, and he's got a huge 40% reduction against light electric damage, so he's not actually in danger. The only catch is these particular monsters are immune to confusion, which would have made them way easier to kill. Meanwhile, his allies, including the white-haired armored man and Tian Zip, are watching, totally dumbfounded. They're like, why is his attack power so high? Tian Zip even points out Yun Che's status bar shows he's currently chanting. And just like that, Yun Che levels up again. He's just tearing through these rare monsters, thinking this is the fastest way to gain levels. He keeps popping in and out of the mirror world mid-fight, which is still wild to watch. Miss Yun Sha is completely floored, saying his strength is way beyond anything she imagined. Even the dark-haired woman observing him looks stunned. Yun Che is now level 28, with full HP at 1750 and MP at 160. Then the armored commander sees someone and is like, wait, I've seen him before. I think he's a student. And his pink armored companion just loses it, yelling, he's a freaking student. Holy crap. But the relief is short-lived as the massive, wandering type, Lord rears its head, firing a colossal purple energy beam. Yun Che appears right in the thick of it, acknowledging that he wouldn't survive a direct hit. He can also see the monster moving closer and realizes that their existing shields, no matter how strong, won't hold up if it gets too close. With fewer monsters around now, the armored group, including the pink-haired woman with a staff, decides their best bet is to break through to another exit. But two huge, heavy shields are in the way, making them sitting ducks if they try to move them. They're all panicking, realizing it'll be too late once the Wandering Lord gets any closer. That's when Yun Che steps forward, activating some power, and makes a shocking declaration: he'll go attack the monster and draw its aggro, giving them a chance to escape. The armored commander is clearly worried, asking Yun Che what will happen to him if they run. But Yun Che is determined, explaining the gravity of the situation. If they don't deal with this Wandering Lord now, it'll gather all the monsters in the domain and eventually reach the outside world. He reveals that almost every previous cataclysm was caused by one of these things. Then, with a fierce resolve, Yun Che declares, I'll stay behind, and kill it. His trick skill is active, giving him a massive 350% blade attack boost for 7 more seconds, and Mirror Walk is still running for almost 6 minutes. Alright, so picking up right where we left off, Yun Che is still duking it out with that massive, wandering type, Lord, that giant rock monster. He's using the mirror world to hit and run, but the thing's defense is insane. He levels up to 29 in the middle of the fight, but even with that, the damage he does is instantly healed by its recovery skill. He realizes he has to get to the glowing crystal on its head, that's gotta be the weak point. But here's the problem, his attack power still isn't enough, and all those buffs from his allies are starting to wear off. His MP is almost gone, meaning he can't spam Trick Blade much longer. And to make things worse, the wandering type, Lord is getting smarter, it's actually starting to predict where Yun Che will pop out of the mirror world. He's running out of options fast. Yun Che exits the mirror world again, but the Lord unleashes a massive continuous attack, chipping away at his HP. He's wondering if he should summon Undead to block, but his MP is so low. Just when it looks really grim, Miss Yun Sha, a dark-haired woman with a dagger, and an armored figure burst onto the scene, yelling to him. Looks like the cavalry finally arrived to back him up. The armored commander thinks to himself, I didn't beg so hard. While the pink-armored woman with a staff warns, this hidden boss is way too dangerous, let us cover you while we all retreat. But Yun Che isn't having it. He's actually thankful they showed up because now he doesn't have to hold back. He hits level 30 and immediately equips a sweet new rare quality corrupted knight armor that dropped from a previous boss. Talk about a timely upgrade. Miss Yun Sha sees his determined look and asks if he's planning to fly up and attack the Lord's weak point, pointing out how impossible that is at this height. But Yun Che just smiles. He pulls out a glowing book. At the same time, he obtains 2 new skills, Gravitational Pull and Gravitational Draw, Reverse. He activates Trick Blade for a 10% attack boost and confidently tells them not to worry, everything's under control. Yun Che is going all out against the Wandering type Lord. He's getting absolutely hammered, taking repeated damage with system notifications displaying your HP decreased by 107 multiple times, all while a purple crystalline phenomenon is active and emitting energy. His HP is plummeting, barely holding on at 302 out of 1800, and his MP is almost gone too. Even Miss Yun Sha and the dark-haired woman, Observer, watching are totally stunned by how much punishment he's enduring. Yun Che is still level 30 though, pushing his limits. But then, out of nowhere, it happens. A system message flashes, you have defeated the Wandering Lord. No way. He actually did it. Not only that, he gains an extra 5000 EXP and a new title, Wandering Slayer. And get this, 2 legendary skill books drop, Golden Light Barrier, and Angel's Blessing. This is a massive win, dude, those are insane rewards. Alright, so last time, Yun Che was just finishing off that huge monster, right? He's still on top of it as it finally collapses, splitting apart to reveal this massive, hollow space beneath it, like a whole mountain just disappeared. Everyone's still kinda reeling from the fight, watching the dust settle. Yun Che gets a good look at the cavern, and it's covered in battle marks. He sees what looks like wandering breed and human remains scattered around. He deduces that an even stronger, Wandering Lord, must have been born here ages ago, causing all these intense battle scars. But then, BAM. A system notification pops up, Qiao Yi has died. And one of Yun Che's companions immediately reacts, shocked, asking why. Clearly, this is huge news for them. As Yun Che stands there, glowing with his purple aura, the woman in the white hat looks at a crystalline, armored figure, wondering if it's the traitor Qiao Benben. She mentions how history says he was killed here by the hero Ding Kun. But, she points out, this battlefield looks completely different from the official story. It's clearly the aftermath of a massive, drawn-out struggle against countless monsters and people, not some quick defeat where he was trampled underfoot. Tian Zip/Qiao Ji confirms their suspicions, stating that his great-grandfather, Qiao En, always went into dungeons that were way above his level. He elaborates, explaining that back in the day, the officials just didn't have enough armies to deal with monsters constantly spilling out of dungeons. So, they relied on powerful, responsible professionals, like his great-grandfather, to clear them out regularly. Tian Zip/Qiao Ji believes his great-grandfather was actually trying to stop disasters early, even though his own family thinks he's just seeking comfort and reading too much into things. Yun Che just listens quietly, putting a hand on his shoulder. Yun Che is there, all smiley, and Tian Zip looks super surprised. But the real drama is a flashback showing Qiao En when he was younger. He's all cocky, saying he doesn't need a master and will surpass everyone. Then, BAM, he's totally overwhelmed by monsters and calls for his master to save him. Someone in the present says, I believe you, while a thought bubble indicates someone thinks he really wasn't that kind of person. The flashback continues with Qiao En, who's apparently been discovered again. He admits he's the type to secretly grind hard then show off. He's also explaining why he chose Sword Guard as his class, even though it's considered the weakest shield bearer advancement, and how he always rushes to the front. He's getting nagged by some unseen old thing and even got his salary docked for 3 months for leaving his team without permission. Back in the present, Yun Che says, yeah, I ran into a bunch of wandering breed, and couldn't resist grinding. He says saving people was just a secondary thing for him. But then, he reveals, he's going to settle accounts with the Ding family specifically for Qiao En, who he calls Benben. A guy with a beard asks if it's true, and Yun Che tells him to go ask the dungeon teacher for proof. While all this is happening, elsewhere, the armored observer and others are reacting to the massive commotion from Yun Che taking down the wandering type Lord. They realize it must have been Yun Che, saying he stalled beyond imagination to take down that tier 4 hidden boss over level 40. They're super impressed, even saying he's more amazing than Yun Miao. And then, the man in the suit, presumably from the Ding family, orders his guards to the traitor's dungeon and tells them to bring the Qiao family people along. After Yun-Che completely wrecked that lord last chapter and we found out the truth about Xiao En, things are heating up. While the Ding family executive is out there, looking all sinister and ordering guards to round up the Qiao family, Yun-Che is over here with his allies, looking at the loot. He's got this legendary skill book, the Golden Light Barrier, that doesn't even have a level requirement. But instead of learning it himself, Yun-Che just gives it away. The woman in the white hat is totally shocked that he'd just hand over something so rare, and Tian Zip also questions if Yun-Che learned it, given its lack of level requirement. Turns out, it's a shield bearer exclusive skill, so Yun-Che can't even use it. It's suggested that Tian Zip's great-grandfather, Xiao En, probably often used this exact skill. The woman in the white hat can't get over Yun-Che's powers, comparing her own high-level skills to his and admitting there's a huge gap, especially when she thinks about his sudden vanishing skill. She also brings up his ability to summon undead, which makes Yun-Che reflect a bit. He realizes his undead are actually transformed souls, and it hits him that other souls are probably going into the mirror world too. Just then, a system notification pops up, letting him know his mirror walk skill has refreshed. He can go back in. Enveloped in a purple aura, Yun-Che asks, "Can I use it?" And then, out of fragments, a glowing armored figure starts to form. Someone keeps calling out Ben. Ben. The identity of the speaker and the armored figure are not confirmed, nor is Yun-Che's specific intention with this power. Meanwhile, the other allies are getting ready to move. The dark-haired woman tells Yun-Sha that they need to leave soon because Yun-Sha has an audience ceremony. Yun-Sha admits they've been there a long time, but still finds what's happening more interesting. Back in the mirror world, Yun-Che is shown in his armored form, deep in whatever he's doing, as a man in a blue shirt wonders what Yun-Che is up to. Yun-Che is standing there, radiating a purple aura, talking to this glowing, translucent figure he calls E. He says he never thought they'd meet again and has so much to tell her, but he knows she won't respond. As he's saying this, E starts to transform, getting infused with dark, monstrous energy right before his eyes. And there's a kneeling armored figure in the background, glowing blue, adding to the mystery. Then, Yun-Che himself is shown in this super cool, dark, undead-like form with glowing purple eyes and white hair, surrounded by purple energy. Someone off-panel comments, "So you really became an undead, huh?" Yun-Che says he really doesn't want to fight, but then he's suddenly moving at incredible speed, leaving purple trails. He's reacting with shock as he sees these memory-like images flash before him, a person's life from a baby to a young adult, framed in organic shapes. What even is this? Yun-Che realizes these are Benben's experience memories. He sees glimpses of a shirtless man with an axe fighting, and then a scene referencing Ding Kuan with armored figures. Yun-Che recognizes one of the fighting stances, calling it familiar, and seems super confused about what happened. Just as he's processing it all, the entire memory projection shatters into a million fragments, with his shadowy form standing behind him. Suddenly, Yun-Che is in combat. He's shocked, calling out Benben. Because he's fighting against a monstrous, shadowy figure that looks like a corrupted version of Benben, wielding a sword with purple energy. Yun-Che is fighting back with his own glowing purple sword, realizing that Benben is operating purely on battle instincts. Yun-Che tries to retreat from this intense fight, saying he'll just have to pull back for now. But a system message pops up, "Can't exit current area, mirror world." Oh no, he's trapped. He resigns himself, knowing he has no choice but to fight. But then, the scene shifts. We're back in the real world with the rest of the group, including Tian Zip and a civilian-clothed Yun-Che, and someone is asking, "Where's that Yun-Che?" Still in the real world, someone snidely comments that if he ran away, it would cut the fun in half. Then, a bearded man confronts a new guy named Ding Su, calling him a Qiao family brat and accusing him of sneaking into his house with Yun-Che to steal. Ding Su tries to deny it, claiming the bearded man is mistaken, but the bearded man insists he recognized Ding Su's screams. After Yun-Che pretty much just found out the truth about Xiao En and vowed to take down the Ding family, the scene cuts to the Ding family executive. He's totally nonchalant, waving off whatever was just discussed as if it doesn't really matter. But then he gets a creepy look and announces, "I brought you a little gift." This chapter throws us right into a tense family scene where our injured shield-bearer companion, Xiao Ji, or Aja, as his mom calls him, is being absolutely grilled. His second grandpa is furious, demanding he kneel and apologize to the hero family and young Master Ding Su. His mom is there too, looking grim, while Qiao Ji defiantly refuses. He's not about to let his family be dogs for the Ding family, especially after what we know about them. The family drama continues to escalate. A shadowy family member sneers that being dogs is a blessing for descendants of traitorous sinners. Qiao Ji's mom, clearly distressed, warns him that he's going to get them all killed, reminding him about his father going insane. But Qiao Ji pushes back, revealing that his great-grandfather wasn't a traitor at all, but bravely entered a secret realm to stop a catastrophe and was ambushed by many. Qiao Ji reveals he's been secretly gathering proof this whole time, and he finally has it. He's convinced his great-grandfather wasn't a traitor, and that everything they've been told is just Ding family propaganda. He swears that once the truth comes out, his great-grandfather's name will be cleared, and they won't have to suffer anymore. He blames the Ding family directly for the deaths of his big-grandpa, uncle-in-law, and second-uncle's family. Meanwhile, in a separate panel, the sinister Ding family executive just laughs mockingly, saying, "Childish as it is, that's how it should be." Then, the man in the suit with a beard chimes in, confirming that Qiaoan was killed in an ambush, and wasn't a villain after all. But then he reveals that his own grandfather rose to power precisely by ambushing Qiaoan. And he doesn't care. He still insists Qiaoan was an imperial traitor who deserved it, dismissing Qiao Ji's father's insanity and all the family deaths. He's just so smug, saying descendants of traitors deserve to be this lowly. The speaker continues his verbal assault, twisting the knife by saying Qiao Ji's family knew this all along, implying it was their fault others died. He commands everyone to kneel. Qiao Ji's mom, heartbroken, desperately begs Qiao Ji, to just admit fault, as she can't bear to lose him after his father went insane. Qiao Ji looks shocked and distressed, along with several other family members forced to their knees. Yun Che is still stuck in the mirror world, and it feels like he's caught in a whirlwind of fragmented memories. A woman with dark hair is shown telling someone named Ji not to listen to them, reassuring him he's the best. But then, it cuts to a dark-haired man with an eye patch brutally attacking a man with glasses, mocking him and saying he'll kneel no matter what. The man with glasses, bruised but defiant, screams that he'll never kneel again. We then snap back to Yun Che, who's still in the middle of a brutal fight, swinging his massive hammer. But an armored figure lands a powerful blow, sending Yun Che reeling back in surprise. We also see another quick flash of an armored figure protecting two women. The armored figure with glasses declares, "We are the true descendants of heroes." They're striking downwards with incredible force, and there's a blurred, dark-haired figure partially visible beneath them. Yun Che is still fighting in the mirror world, experiencing fragmented memories. One memory shows a dark-haired man with an eye patch aggressively fighting and taunting a man with glasses who's wearing armor. The eye patch guy is totally mocking him, saying he's always been a punching bag, ever since childhood. But the armored man with glasses defiantly says he's not the person he used to be. Then, we snap back to Yun Che, fighting with his glowing purple power in the mirror world. Yun Che realizes he's fighting Benben's full power form. He knows there's a huge power gap between them. Even though Benben has the defense of a post-level 60 class transfer, Yun Che says he would be instantly suppressed if Benben had full consciousness and wasn't a defensive class. Thankfully, Yun Che taught Benben all his combat techniques, so he claims to know all his weaknesses. Still, Yun Che's attacks with his blade of tricks are barely chipping away at Benben's HP, which is still incredibly high. The fight gets intense. Yun Che activates the legendary skill, Golden Light Barrier, but he's already thinking this is troublesome. He then prepares to use a powerful attack, Molten Mountain Chaotic Hammer, but an armored opponent blocks it with a shield. Yun Che is hit by an attack, and you can see shadowy figures observing this whole chaotic battle, though their role isn't clear. Aksu's uncle, an aggressive man with a beard, shows up. He scolds Aksu, asking why he can't beat that member of the Qiao family. Aksu's uncle declares he'll fight in Aksu's place, then immediately activates a legendary skill, Golden Light Barrier. He instructs Aksu to remain outside the barrier. Yun Che launches a pink energy attack at the barrier. Meanwhile, an unidentified speaker criticizes the hero family, calling them cowards for not fighting one-on-one. Yun Che observes the Golden Light Barrier, and we learn more about its properties. It can withstand at least 10 attacks as long as the damage doesn't exceed twice its tolerance, but it's a consumable skill that drains energy from even the smallest hit. Once its energy is gone, those 10 attacks will shatter it. In another fragmented memory, Axu's uncle is mocking Xiao En, saying he never cared when trashed Xiao En used the golden light barrier. And right there, the dark-haired man with an eye patch is physically attacking Xiao En, who's being held by an armored person. The master of the three families is attacking a wounded armored man with an axe-like weapon. The attacker is taunting him, threatening to cut off his legs. In the middle of this, the distressed woman desperately grabs the attacker's leg, begging him to spare Qiao Ji, saying he's still young and ignorant. The distressed woman, identified as Xiao Benben's mother, is pleading, offering herself up instead. But the Ding family executive is merciless. He threatens Xiao Benben directly, telling him that if he doesn't kneel, he'll cut down his mother. Xiao Benben tries to retort with defiance, but before he can finish, there's a sudden, powerful attack with yellow energy. A powerful impact shatters rocks, followed by a red beam cutting through them. An injured man with glasses looking terrified. But suddenly, a powerful, glowing armored figure identified as Xiao En manifests with a surge of energy. Everyone is in shock. A woman expresses shock, calling him grandfather, while others can't believe their eyes. They're all questioning how the dead Xiao En could be resurrected, with someone commenting that his new form resembles a lich. Even Yun Che looks stunned. Yun Che appears in his corrupted knight armor, glowing purple sword in hand, with a large, shadowy figure by his side. He looks determined as he declares that an unnamed individual was looked down upon before, and has now crawled back from hell to settle the score. Xiao En, who's now labeled as Undead Jon and sitting at level 33 with decent HP, is absolutely owning it. He's blocking multiple armored guards all at once with this insane technique, and the armored man is just screaming about how strong he is. But then you have the master of the three families, dismissive as ever, waving his axe and calling Xiao En's undead form trash, even at level 33. Despite the master of the three families' taunts, Xiao En, who's glowing blue, by the way, looking super powerful, continues to hold his own. Suddenly, a brown-haired man lunges at Xiao En with a golden energy attack. But before Xiao En can fully react, the master of the three families swoops in too, axe swinging, empowered with red and gold energy, declaring that all Xiao En's fancy blocking techniques are meaningless against his absolute power. Just when you think things can't get more chaotic, another golden light barrier pops up. Axu's uncle, who we know from Yun Che's Fragmented Memories, appears in glowing red armor. He's yelling orders, telling everyone that Xiao Benben is an S-class undead, and this barrier alone should keep him busy for ages. He orders everyone to attack and drain Xiao En's energy, while green glowing skeletons are also in the fray, fighting armored combatants. In the middle of the chaos, the dark-haired man, not the master of the three families, but a different one, from Yun Che's memories shows up, arrogantly announcing that Jon or any undead are just summoned trash. He says killing the summoner makes them disappear and boasts about his grandfather's high-class treasures. He hits Xiao En with a large pressure punch right after Xiao En buffs himself with raging flames of fury, but Xiao En is completely unharmed. He barely flinches before retaliating with a rending claw that connects with the dark-haired man. And just as things are heating up, in a flash of blue energy, Yun Che finally enters the main battle. He appears, already in his corrupted knight armor as promised last chapter, and immediately stabs the bearded armored man, Axu's uncle, who spits blood and screams in rage. Yun Che, with his eye glowing purple, then takes on Xiao Benben and another armored opponent, knocking both back with his powerful attacks. Yun Che, still looking formidable in his corrupted knight armor, is absolutely wrecking Axu's uncle. He's using these intense purple energy slashes, and one of them just straight up cut off Axu's uncle's hand. He's screaming for a priest, completely freaking out as Yun Che casually throws him back. Yun Che just stands there with glowing purple eyes, taunting his opponent. Axu's uncle is still injured and demanding a priest, totally in shock. But Yun Che is having none of it. He reveals that his undead forces, these level 33 skeleton archers, are super buffed with a legendary skill called Evil Spirit Possession Reversal. It gives them 30% more attack and defense, plus continuous damage. He boasts that they're far too strong for any of the guards to handle, and them just tearing through the armored guys. Axu's uncle, still bleeding, tries to make a run for it. But then, the ground rumbles and these huge, dark, sword-like structures burst out of the earth. Standing in the middle of them is a new, imposing white-haired armored figure wielding a glowing sword. This figure activates an exclusive Sword Guard class skill called Sword Shield Absolute Formation, a skill known to make escape extremely difficult. The white-haired armored figure, who we now know as Qiao En, calmly tells Axe's uncle that no one below S-class has ever escaped his formation. Axe's uncle, in a desperate move, pulls out an S-class void bomb that his grandfather gave him. He threatens Qiao En, claiming it'll kill him for sure. But Qiao En just smiles and dares him to detonate it. Axe's uncle screams at Yun Che, asking if he's trying to get himself killed. But Yun Che, with a confident smirk, just states that his HP is high enough to survive the explosion. Then, he chillingly tells Axe's uncle that even if he manages to blow up Benben, Qiao En, Yun Che can just resurrect him again. He then viciously strikes Axe's uncle down with his glowing purple sword, demanding that he kneel. Axe's uncle is left defeated and terrified, partially buried in the ground in the middle of the rubble. Yun Che, now glowing with a light blue flame-like aura and radiating immense power, stands over him. He stares down at his broken opponent and asks, with a menacing tone, what value he thinks he still has left. Yun Che checks his inventory, noticing over 200 health potions. He finds them pretty useless now, since they only restore a tiny bit of HP slowly and don't stack. He recalls killing a shadowy armored figure once, whose soul ended up in the mirror world. Yun Che realizes he can expand his advanced undead army by killing people. He's even converted Axe's uncle into a new undead, now appearing in shiny white armor. Yun Che spares an injured man, considering him potentially useful later. Qiao En watches Yun Che, impressed by his youth and strength, noting how much he's helped Tian Zip grow. An older man asks about their next move, especially since the three clan heads are dead. A bearded man worries about the Ding family's inevitable retaliation, saying no one can stand against a hero. Yun Che is concerned about exposure limiting his power-up time, determined to reach a high enough level to face Ding Kun. Suddenly, a system message confirms he's leveled up. Yun Che realizes sending his undead to grind separately was smart, they're strong enough to dominate the area. But this secret realm isn't enough for his rapid leveling anymore. He also sent them out because he found the secret realm's lord, a chained slow-rot giant demon, level 41, and a hidden boss. Someone explains the secret realm lord is the realm's heart, killing it makes the whole place vanish. Their teacher guards the entrance, and the Qiao family was seen entering with Ding Laosan. Just leaving would be suspicious. But if the realm vanishes chaotically, the Qiao family can escape unnoticed, and the Ding family won't confirm Ding Laosan's death, buying Yun Che valuable time. A system message announces level up. And that he's defeated the secret realm lord, secret realm cleared. The realm immediately vanishes, surprising Qiao Benben's mother. Yun Che calmly confirms he killed the lord, planning to use the vanishing realm's chaos for their escape, making them untraceable. He prepares to use Undead Recall. Yun Che reviews his Mirror World skill, now level 2 after killing the giant eyeball demon, a secret realm lord. He needs more kills to reach level 3, believing this will help him close the gap with Ding Kun. Suddenly, Yun Che teleports into a private secret realm, completely surprising the two armored guards. A guard senses something but dismisses it as an illusion. Yun Che moves past, scoffing at the weak civilian guards, noting private secret realms are defenseless against him. He keeps Ding Kun in mind, nearing his goal, and reminds himself to stay calm. Yun Che begins a relentless grind, leveling up and defeating secret realm lords, clearing many secret realms. Each time, his Mirror World skill gains 5,000 EXP. He constantly reminds himself to stay calm, despite his clear rampage. Newspapers even report widespread malicious clearing of private secret realms. A group, including an old man, a curly-haired man, a stern man, and a woman, read newspaper reports about realm destroyers. The old man wonders if Yun Che is doing this to distract the Ding family, believing they wouldn't have escaped without him. This old man, potentially Qiao En, appears in human form. Someone expresses a desire to finally escape the Ding family. But then, an attack called Unmatched Descent occurs. Ding Hao, the level 42 second family head of the Ding family, bursts in, furious. He calls them traitors and criminals, asserting no one escapes the hero family, clearly intending to stop them. An unidentified speaker threatens traitors, stating a criminal's whereabouts are tracked. Meanwhile, Yun Che is in the hero's secret realm. He's level 42, with Mirror World LV.3, and an unidentified female companion. Yun Che declares his target, Ding Kun, I've come for you. Yun Che, now level 42, finds clearing private, lower-level secret realms inefficient for leveling up. High-level ones, like the hero's secret realm they're at, are state-controlled and militarily guarded, with a 2-kilometer no-access zone. He's with his female companion, eyeing the heavily fortified entrance, trying to figure out his next move. Yun Che tries his mirror world skill, but hits an exploration boundary, capped at 200 meters, making undetected entry impossible. He realizes he'll need his female companion's help. She has a temporary sample secret realm access permit, but explains she still needs a proper escort for inspection. His female companion, now serious, asks why he avoided his family to sneak in. Yun Che, with a confident smile, explains he needs to help a friend, clear the Chiao family's name, and confront the heroes for the truth. He adds that Jon's appearance wasn't as ugly as propaganda suggested, hinting at past misrepresentation. She's not buying it. Do you think I'm stupid? She asks, accusing him of infiltrating his family mansion and risking hero's wrath for Xiao Ji, wondering if he foresaw Jon's situation or stole the pass. She reveals Ding Lao-san, who entered the traitor's secret realm to trouble Yun Che and Xiao Ji, has vanished since then. His companion presses further, saying he has hostility toward the heroes. She questions, your name is Yun Che, surname Yun, are you connected to that traitor Yun Che from the past? Unfazed, Yun Che turns the tables, asking if she's connected since her surname is also Yun. She quickly denies it, insisting she wasn't involved. Yun Che reveals, my surname isn't Yun, I changed it to avoid trouble. He then asks, how did you know my real surname was Yun? She threatens to report him, but Yun Che stares her down. If you report me, you'll die, he states calmly, adding, but you won't report me. She's left shocked and thoughtful. His female companion asks if he's ever been betrayed, suggesting his naivete in trusting easily. Yun Che responds that even if he hasn't, he can still trust, preferring to believe her true nature isn't evil. His companion challenges him, if you really trust me, then come with me. She inwardly muses on his trust. With that, they both walk into a grand purple building. Inside, a man greets Miss Yun Sha, confirming her direct entry. He then asks why she's not with Elder Ding Dan, who just entered, and if her hooded companion is her guard. He explains they're on alert due to a stolen family pass. The official presses, stating the Security Bureau reported a realm-raiding criminal is headed their way, so they need to check her guard. Miss Yun Sha sarcastically asks if they think she wouldn't recognize her own guard, but then permits a check. An unidentified man jokes, maybe I've been swapped out too. Intimidated by Miss Yun Sha's status, the officials back down and let them pass. Yun Che internally notes her influence is higher than he'd guessed. Miss Yun Sha tells Yun Che she brought him in due to his trust, but won't care what he does next, as they enter a new secret realm. A blonde woman makes it clear she's done helping, stating, this is as far as it goes. Yun Che thanks her, then offers her something to prevent suspicion for what's to come. She grudgingly accepts, acknowledging his conscience. Yun Che, with Axu's uncle, transitions directly into his mirror world. His mirror world skill, now level 3, has unlocked new abilities. The system confirms, Boundary Mirror World and additional compensation skill, Kill Cut are in his arsenal. He's ready to put them to use. Yun Che has successfully entered the hero's secret realm. He's thinking about his awesome new Mirror World abilities, like how he can just let his undead farm monsters in there without anyone knowing, even when he's not in the Mirror World himself. He just got a message that a skeletal spirit already took out an enemy and gained 172 XP. He's officially exited the Mirror World and is now looking at a city being built right inside this secret realm. His plan is to investigate super carefully, especially since the Ding family diary mentioned that Ding Kun is supposedly located here. Yun Che's still trying to figure out this mysterious S-rank individual he knows nothing about, even though he knew every S-rank in his previous life. This person reached S-rank decades ago and has been completely hidden since. He's frustrated because if he just had more info, he'd be way more confident in dealing with them. He even asks Benben, like, hey, do you know who this is? But even with Mirror World hitting LV.3 and significantly boosting his undead's intelligence, Benben still can't communicate. Yun-Che thinks maybe if Mirror World keeps leveling up, Benben will get even more of his consciousness back. Meanwhile, back with the Ding family, things are intense. Ding Shen, the hero of the Empire, is telling someone he calls father that the third son is still missing. The Security Bureau thinks some S-rank criminal dared to abduct him right from near the hero's secret realm. Ding Shen is urging his father to act, saying that such a criminal is a massive threat and they need to take it seriously. It sounds like a huge deal that this third son has vanished, and there's a lot of pressure on this father figure. Then, a.m. We cut to a brutal scene. A powerful armored figure with glowing red eyes is violently attacking the elderly injured man. The armored attacker is absolutely laying into the elderly injured man, saying, "You can't even keep an eye on one son, and you want to teach me?" The armored attacker yells that they only kept this useless thing, the elderly injured man, around to watch my grandson, who is clearly the third son from the previous scene. Losing him means losing a blood relative, and apparently, several years of their own life. The elderly injured man, who only recently reached S-rank, is clearly no match and is getting annihilated. And just when you think it can't get worse, the scene shifts again. Now we're seeing Ding Yan, a hero's descendant, tied up on the ground in what looks like pure chaos. Someone is standing on him, holding a whip. There are civilians screaming, being attacked by wolves, and a little child crying in the midst of the blood. It's super messed up. A young master and his level 60 spellcaster companion, Nans, are just standing there, watching all this unfold. They're clearly in charge, hinting that these brutal wolves are their beloved pets. Yun-Che and Axu's uncle are observing this horrific scene from a distance. So, Yun-Che is looking at the glowing blue armored figure, who is clearly in serious pain but still trying to help others. Yun-Che remembers this figure, saying he was one of the kindest and strongest kids from a disaster zone, just like someone named Lan Qian. Yun-Che even trained them both, wanting them to become strong and help people. Yun-Che feels a heavy guilt, believing it's his fault Xiao Benben is in this state. But then, Xiao Benben starts to regain consciousness, mumbling names like Lan, Shadow, before Yun-Che recognizes him. Yun-Che is shocked that Xiao Benben is awake. Xiao Benben then screams out Ding Kun. And Yun-Che, as he's engulfed in a painful surge of blue energy. Suddenly, the scene shifts. A dark armored figure, super intense with dark armor, white spiky hair, and glowing red eyes, clutching a glowing sword, is shown. The dark armored figure hears the name Yun-Che and immediately reacts with fury. The figure hasn't heard that name in years and accuses whoever said it of trying to provoke them. The dark armored figure vows to find out who dares to impersonate Yun-Che, who they call their dear master, while an unconscious person lies motionless on the ground nearby. We pick up with a blonde man ordering green-skinned creatures to attack an injured man and a child. Suddenly, Yun-Che arrives, a flash of purple energy, and immediately takes on the creatures with his blade. While fighting, he's reeling, thinking, Lan Qian, how could you be Ding Kun? The blonde man, his eye glowing purple, stares in shock, muttering, how could you be? Yun-Che's sudden appearance and power clearly threw him off. Then a cryptic statement appears, first, be humble. It's unclear who says it or why. In the fight, the blonde man explodes in rage after Yun-Che's powerful hit shatters his cloaked ally's level 30 legendary protective barrier necklace. He screams it's impossible and vows to show Yun-Che the power of a higher level. We then see a quick flashback of a younger Yun-Che, witnessing violence and helping others. Yun-Che recalls the young man he rescued from a slave auction, urging the blonde man to understand the helplessness of the weak and make the right judgment. But as Yun-Che attacks again, the blonde man dissipates into smoke. It's revealed Yun-Che was hitting illusions, and the blonde man taunts him about attacking phantoms. The blonde man taunts Yun-Che, questioning his fight for lowlifes and claiming attacking him would hurt those Yun-Che protects. But Yun-Che isn't fooled, he gains multiple attack power plus 10% buffs, his eyes glow purple with lightning, and he slashes through the illusion. The blonde man is shocked because Yun-Che didn't just see through his trick, he actually struck a hooded figure standing right behind him. We briefly jump to Yun-Che's mirror world, where he watches two figures fighting goblins. They complain about near-death experiences, but Yun Che assures them he was observing. Then, back in the present, the injured hooded figure orders the blonde man to stall Yun Che for his escape. The blonde man, clearly scared but impressed, flees, vowing to return for Yun Che. Without illusions, the hooded caster struggles against Yun Che, casting futile spells. Yun Che appears right behind them, glowing purple weapon ready. The caster begs for mercy, claiming they're hired, not Ding family, and reveals Yun Che's grudge should be directed at Ding Yen. Yun Che defeats them. Afterwards, Xiao Benben, in his powerful armored form, stands over a defeated blonde man. The injured blonde man, likely the one Xiao Benben stood over, tries to intimidate Yun Che by claiming to be a hero's grandson and threatening his family. It fails. The blonde man is defeated, and Yun Che receives loot, a rainbow robe, concentration skill book, mind elixir, and upright guard belt. Yun Che utters, "Fifth, be honest," as a shadowy figure with purple accents and several armored, red-eyed figures appear around them. Suddenly, the scene shifts to a completely destroyed, burning city, ravaged by dark projectiles with impaled and hanging bodies everywhere. Yun Che confronts an injured Lan Qian on the ground. Xiao Benben is also there, grievously injured and hanging by ropes. A furious Yun Che accuses Lan Qian of betraying him and Xiao Benben, of letting his descendants commit evil. Why? Yun Che demands. Yun Che continues fighting Lan Qian, using basic healing to patch himself up. He's equipped with powerful gear, pearl necklace, long robe of far chant, nether beast item, deep diver pants, and ghost centaur boots, providing a significant attack bonus. Lan Qian, an S-rank class transferee berserker at level 71, calmly attacks Yun Che with purple energy in the middle of the destruction. Yun Che, still reeling from the betrayal, repeatedly asks why. Realizing Lan Qian enjoyed himself in my secret realm. The final reveal, Lan Qian is also Ding Kun. Things get wild. Yun Che suddenly appears in a fragmented space, immediately unleashing a powerful purple energy slash at the dark, horned figure of Lan Qian, a level 71 foe. The attack shatters Lan Qian into pieces, making Yun Che wonder, a mirror? Then, a voice screams, "Why did you betray me?" From an unknown source. Remember last chapter when Yun Che seemingly shattered Ding Kun, who betrayed him? Well, it turns out that wasn't the end of it. Yun Che lands a fierce blow, actually breaking through Ding Kun's armor. Ding Kun is totally shocked, yelling that Yun Che's speed and attack power aren't normal at all. Yun Che, still furious, shouts out his true name, Lan Qian, confirming the betrayal. Ding Kun, reeling from the hit, then asks if an old man sent Yun Che and how he even knows his old name. Ding Kun quickly dismisses Yun Che, calling him a tool and saying there's no point in talking further. He even scoffs at someone trying to pretend to be his master. Yun Che deflects an attack, then punches Ding Kun hard and unleashes another powerful blow that actually cracks the ground. Yun Che's face is bloodied, and his eyes are glowing purple. Xiao Benben, still in that glowing blue form, suddenly moves. He lunges at Ding Kun / Lan Qian. Ding Kun is completely flabbergasted, shouting, "How are you still alive? A necromancer." He realizes Xiao Benben is back as a necromancer's work, noting his limited intellect. Yun Che activates his Necro Recall and Necro Summon skills. As the blue, armored entity Yun Che summoned fully manifests, an opponent with red eyes shouts in distress, recognizing him as a deceased blood relative named Senwazi. More of Ding Kun's allies arrive too, Ding Sun, a level 60 archer, Ding Chang, a level 60 wanderer, and Ding Jian, a level 60 warrior and hero descendant. Xiao Benben, the white-haired armored figure, then starts speaking. He declares himself a revived spirit and demands that Yun Che prove he's his master, promising to reveal everything if he does. He even blames Yun Che for his current crazy state, mentioning a cage from the past. Yun Che, still bloodied, looks on with glowing purple eyes, his weapon constantly boosting his attack power with stacked MP consumption buffs. Xiao Benben keeps demanding Yun Che prove himself. Yun Che looks at him and says, "My blood relative," confirming their connection. Meanwhile, Lan Qian / Ding Kun is just watching this scene unfold, a menacing smile on his face, clearly getting more and more interested in Yun Che. The battlefield is filled with attacks and Yun Che's boosts. So after that crazy fight last chapter, Yunche is still in the destroyed city. Things get intense when the transformed Xiao Benben suddenly starts talking directly to Yunche. He calls Yunche his dear master and asks why Yunche saved him so late, after he'd already suffered so much. Yunche is just like, what nonsense are you even talking about? Then the focus shifts, and Lan Qian/Ding Kun, still in his dark, horned form, ranting. He's furious, asking why Xiao Benben, who supposedly went through nothing, got to live so comfortably and be respected by everyone. He's questioning everything, like why he was made a berserker when he wanted to be a sword guard, and why Xiao Benben seems to be favored. This guy is seriously bitter. Yunche, still looking a bit bloody, denies ever favoring anyone. He even reminds Lan Qian/Ding Kun if he didn't always act like he wanted to be braver and stronger himself. But Lan Qian/Ding Kun just doubles down, screaming that Yunche clearly prefers people like Benben, that kind of person, and that's why he's always looked down on him. The rant continues. Lan Qian/Ding Kun shouts that he did try to act brave, but Yunche always looked down on his birth. He openly declares that his good brother Luo Wei can give him the higher status and power he craves. Meanwhile, Xiao Benben, appearing bloody and enraged, completely dismisses knightly virtues like pity or humility, saying they're useless and asserting that treatment is determined by power and status. His actions are clearly driven by the pursuit of power from this Luo Wei guy. Alright, so the fight between Yunche and Lan Qian/Ding Kun is absolutely brutal. This chapter kicks off with Yunche going all out, using some wild purple energy and a whip-like weapon to just tear into his opponent. Yunche's eyes are glowing purple, and he's not holding back, telling his opponent he's nothing compared to Benben, not even worth one of his toes. His opponent is taking massive damage, his body literally breaking apart, but he just laughs through the pain, which is super creepy. But Lan Qian/Ding Kun isn't done yet. He's screaming at Yunche, practically gloating and calling Yunche a hypocrite for admitting he favors Benben. Then, things get even crazier because Lan Qian/Ding Kun suddenly goes full berserker. He activates his berserker's body skill, which gives him a crazy 300% attack power boost and 200% speed increase, just because he has no armor on. Plus, the lower his HP gets, the more those stats will explode. He also unleashes Rampage, which further boosts his strength, movement, and attack speed, even if it lowers his intelligence and defense. Yunche, meanwhile, is using his mirrors to dodge and weave through the onslaught, realizing how fast Lan Qian/Ding Kun has become. Lan Qian/Ding Kun keeps pushing, activating his BLOODSTRM skill and mocking Yunche for relying on his mirrors to hide. He challenges Yunche to fight him head-on, questioning his bravery as a knight. He keeps taking minor self-inflicted damage from his berserker's body, which just makes him hit even harder and move even faster. Yunche is taking hits, losing 30 HP with each strike, while Lan Qian/Ding Kun rants about Yunche only talking about virtue when he's safe, and not understanding true suffering. The damage really starts to stack up on Yunche. Lan Qian/Ding Kun unleashes a blood rage explosion blade, and Yunche's HP plummets to a critical 272 out of 1960, he's literally in a near-death state. He desperately tries to heal, popping items for plus 10 HP and using his basic healing skill for plus 15 HP, but the continuous damage from Bloodstorm just keeps chipping away. Lan Qian/Ding Kun is absolutely loving it, laughing and telling Yunche he's laughably naive for thinking friends and apprentices would always support him, and that he can barely survive the continuous damage. Lan Qian/Ding Kun continues his relentless assault, pummeling Yunche with that glowing purple weapon. He's really twisting the knife, calling Yunche delicate and saying this whole situation is the price of naivety. He goes on, claiming that people only truly grow through betrayal, implying Yunche fell from some peak to the mortal world. It's clear Lan Qian/Ding Kun is fueled by some deep-seated bitterness. Then, Lan Qian/Ding Kun drops a huge bomb, still taunting Yunche as he attacks. He mentions Luo Wei, saying how Luo Wei became the supreme king, revered by everyone, while accusing Yunche of becoming a despised traitor. He then asks Yunche straight up if he's jealous. It seems like the rivalry and betrayal run even deeper than we thought, connecting back to Luo Wei and Yunche's past status. Last time we left off with Yun Che practically on his deathbed, level 45, barely clinging to 42 HP and 7 MP. Lan Qian / Ding Kun is just loving it, taunting him, demanding Yun Che admit he's wrong, beg for mercy, and hand over the secret of resurrection. Yun Che responds by admitting, I was wrong. And boom. Just like that, Yun Che levels up to 46. His HP and MP are almost fully restored, like nothing even happened. With glowing red eyes, he declares it was a mistake to have ever trusted wolves and that he doesn't need virtue for scum like them. He's going all out, activating a bunch of reverse skills like Acceleration Radiance and Evil Possession, stacking up attack buffs with Trick Blade. Yun Che's completely unleashed, saying he'll clean them up by any means necessary. He starts wailing on Xiao Benben / Undead Jon with multiple energy strikes, sending him flying. But Xiao Benben just grins, loving the beating. He even attacks back and criticizes Yun Che's dual wielding, calling it hacking blind. Xiao Benben spitting blood, and expresses surprise and confusion. He's like, how is this possible? All the mirrors were destroyed. He thinks Yun Che's reflective ability is gone. But Yun Che realizes he can use any reflective surface, even the blood on the ground. Lan Qian / Ding Kuen's shocked that Yun Che found a loophole, activating his own blood energy gathering and blood rage skills, and states his opponent has no room to struggle. But then, bam. Xiao Benben ambushes him out of nowhere, hitting Lan Qian / Ding Kuen hard. Yun Che, now using Undead Recall and Undead Summon, dismisses the idea of knightly spirit with these guys. And then, in a devastating final moment, Yun Che, with his eyes glowing purple, stands over a defeated figure lying in a pool of blood. He's smirking as he declares, I just fucking want you dead. Alright, so last time Yun Che absolutely wrecked Lan Qian / Ding Kuen, leveling up mid-fight and pulling out all these crazy reverse skills. This chapter kicks off with a powerful shot of a male character with dark hair, glowing purple eyes, and emanating purple energy. He holds a curved blade weapon and has some skull-like entities floating behind him. Then we cut right back to the chaos. Lan Qian / Ding Kuen is getting absolutely swarmed by light blue projectiles and all sorts of low-level undead, with Xiao Benben in the mix too. A voice is mercilessly pointing out Lan Qian / Ding Kuen's weaknesses. His defense is super low because he's a berserker, and he keeps getting hit by all the summons. Yun Che isn't done. He adds that Lan Qian / Ding Kuen barely has any area attacks, just linear ones like his Blood QI Explosion Blade. Yun Che brags that his mana recovery is so fast, he can just keep summoning undead forever, and Lan Qian / Ding Kuen will never clear them all out. Lan Qian / Ding Kuen gets furious and unleashes Blood Rain Rampage, but Yun Che just casually says his biggest flaw is that he has no one to rely on. An unnamed speaker really lays into him, reminding Lan Qian / Ding Kuen that back in the day, he and Xiao Benben used to cover each other's weaknesses. But now, the very shield that protected him has become the blade striking him. Xiao Benben is right there, aggressively attacking Lan Qian / Ding Kuen, screaming that he's been enjoying power for 60 years. Lan Qian / Ding Kuen, reeling, thinks to himself that he was right all along not to trust comrades. Desperate, Lan Qian / Ding Kuen shouts for his children and grandchildren, specifically calling out Ding Jian and Ding Chang, to come out and fight for him. He insists he doesn't need comrades, because his family will fight instead. Yun Che, unfazed, retorts, is that so? And lunges at him with his glowing weapon. But then things get wild. Xiao Benben, flying in the air, shouts father. And another helmeted figure nearby shouts it too. It's over. Lan Qian / Ding Kuen is severely injured and bleeding, completely defeated. His masked descendant is in shock, asking if their father really lost. A blonde son despairs, saying if even he couldn't win, what hope do they have? But Lan Qian / Ding Kuen, in a shocking twist, grabs his blonde son by the throat. He yells that everything his son has is because of him, revealing he only brought his son into the world to sustain his own health and long life. Yun Che and Xiao Benben watch the horrifying scene unfold from a rooftop. Lan Qian is absolutely furious, screaming about being defied. Then things get wild. Xiao Benben, who Yun Che just revived, suddenly attacks Yun Che, who's still on the ground. But almost instantly, Xiao Benben screams in pain and starts bleeding, surrounded by blue flames. We even hear a confused F, father. In the background, adding to the mystery of who Lan Qian is talking to. Lan Qian is huffing, bleeding from his face, completely worn out and wondering where Yun Che went. He can't keep up anymore. Then, Yun Che just appears with these shadowy, glowing figures around him. He taunts Lan Qian, calling him an old man whose body can't keep up. The true shocker. Yun Che tells him to enjoy your family reunion, and Lan Qian realizes, horrified, that Yun Che has turned his own sons into undead summons. The scene cuts to Xiao Benben, still the injured white-haired man, now desperately running, bleeding profusely. An unseen voice taunts him, asking if he still thinks he can run away. The voice tells him he could have had all of this. Xiao Benben is clearly struggling, muttering fragmented words like comrades. Master. My child, it's heartbreaking to see him like this, caught between sides. And just to rub salt in the wound, the taunting continues, but now all you have is their hatred toward you. Face the end you've chosen. The page shows Yun Che, Xiao Benben, and other shadowy, glowing figures looming over a prone, defeated individual. It's a grim, intense image, showing the consequences of the conflict. After all that chaos with Lan Qian, Yun Che's back to boss mode. He's explaining how he sent all his best materials to some divine craftsman and managed to get some mythical quality weapons forged. Sounds like upgrades are coming for his crew. And boom. First up for an upgrade is Xiao Benben. Yun Che gives him this sick axe shield, telling him it's perfect for Benben's new class, and he'll master it super fast. Benben's all like, thank you, master. You can just tell he's excited. Then things switch up a bit. Lan Qian, and an observant guy next to him asks what he's staring at. But the real talk is when one of Yun Che's blonde subordinates asks him why he's still using the same sword. Like, isn't it outdated, master? The flowing cloud sword is then described as ultimate equipment. It's the kind that had all resources poured into it, with years spent collecting secret treasures from top-tier dungeons, even sneaking into an SSS-rank dungeon, just so it would never need to be replaced. Wow. And get this, it was forged in an ancient forge, starting as a sword embryo. But it's not just any sword, it's a unique quality piece of equipment, completely unreplicable. This thing has its own distinct properties, making it super special. No wonder he doesn't need a new one. Yun Che's inner thoughts describe an incredible awakening method. It's a power or weapon that's always changing, flowing like clouds, and can transform into any weapon he desires. He says its true final form only comes when it syncs completely with its user, and after so many battles, it's learned to adapt perfectly to his will. In what looks like a flashback, the sword demonstrator is showing off a sword that adapts to the wielder's strength. The eager spectator is completely amazed, eagerly asking if they can try it out too. But then, the mood shifts totally. The armored figure stands over a fallen, injured victim, talking about a cleanup. He laughs maniacally as he reveals a dark plot. The king said we have to make it look like Yun Che started a rebellion. They're framing Yun Che. Still in the past, Yun Che finally gets his hands on a unique quality sword, the one called Bianhuan. Then, the scene snaps back to the present. Yun Che, looking incredibly powerful with glowing hair, standing with a shadowy figure beside him. Yun Che, still transformed and glowing, reflects on his past. He remembers his time on the front lines of dungeons, how hard it was, but he never, ever backed down. He always found a way to overcome any hardship thrown his way. Now, him standing over a severely injured, bleeding Xiao Benben, who is desperately begging him, don't kill. Yun Che tells Xiao Benben he did all of that, all the hardships, just to live a peaceful life with him. But, Yun Che says, it was Xiao Benben's greed that shattered everything. We also see that the flowing cloud sword is severely damaged. After all that chaos with Lan Qian, we cut back to Yun Che, who's still facing off with a severely injured and bleeding Xiao Benben. Things are super tense because Yun Che is holding his flowing cloud sword, but it's in a massive scythe form and looks really beat up, with stats showing it's severely damaged. Yun Che accuses Xiao Benben of betraying him and Benben, while Xiao Benben attempts to speak to his master. Yun Che isn't messing around, and it looks like he might have just inflicted another injury on Xiao Benben with that huge scythe. He wants answers, demanding to know the truth of the entire incident, and declares he'll learn everything Xiao Benben knows. Then, the scene shifts. Yun-Che is sitting on this epic throne made of swords, surrounded by a red glow. Suddenly, a huge mass of blue and white energy starts to form right in front of him. It coalesces into this super cool armored figure with horns and white, flame-like hair, and it immediately starts to speak. It's Xiao Benben, but in this new, armored form. He's saying that Luo Wei was the bait and that the road to revenge has only just begun. Yun-Che looks super intense, his eyes glowing purple, totally ready for whatever comes next. Okay, the story then switches gears to give us some important info about how the world works. We learn that regular people are capped around level 30 because of dungeon restrictions. Even the super talented who join official organizations can only hit level 60, because there's this huge threshold you can't cross after that. And how do you get past level 60? You have to complete a class change or class evolution. This unlocks way better equipment, higher level attributes, and exclusive skills. Basically, it's the only way to truly break through that level 60 barrier and become seriously powerful. Yun-Che is also shown here, observing all of this. So, after Yun-Che absolutely bodied Lan Qian, he starts thinking about how rare the proof of class change item is. Apparently, it's super hard to get, even back in the old days when dungeons were everywhere. Now, the officials hoard them, and Lan Qian was the only one in his whole hero's family who even had one. Yun-Che realizes none of Lan Qian's own kids ever got to change classes, even though it makes you way stronger. Like, Lan Qian went from a regular warrior to a berserker, learned crazy new skills like Body of the Berserker, and got several times stronger. Yun-Che's like, honestly, if I didn't have Mirror World, I probably wouldn't have beaten him. But then Yun-Che thinks, what if I, with my Mirror World, also get a class change? He unfurls the proof of class change. The system immediately scans him, his spirit is at 65, speed at 55, and stamina at 34. He's clearly ready. The system pops up with class options, War Dancer, Bard, and Forest Musician. Yun-Che already knows which one he wants, though. He says it's the only chant class that actually has offensive skills, which is wild because not many chant professionals even successfully change classes to begin with. Suddenly, a system prompt appears, asking, Mirror World, do you wish to reverse the WAR Dancer class? Yun-Che is totally shocked. He's like, wait, reversing the class itself? This is a whole new level of Mirror World weirdness. To be a battle dancer, you need crazy high speed and spirit stats, over 55 and 65, hard for a caster. Plus, a slaughter blood core, a crystal filled by massive slaughter, is required. Super hard for a caster with no attack skills. Yun-Che's reversal enhancement flipped the battle dancer profession in Mirror World. Requirements reversed and amplified. The new class, Peace Dancer, deters enemies with elegant dances and sacred bells, ending wars through fear. The reversed requirement: 5 life nurseries. Yun-Che's shocked by its exaggeration. Yun-Che ponders mirror reversal. A life nursery is the slaughter blood core's reversed equivalent, a super rare treasure constantly produces full HP potions. Needing 5 means endless full heals, game-breaking for top players. Yun-Che's Mirror World skill got a massive level 3 upgrade. Instead of slow improvement, it features regular monsters and Secret Realm Lord, replicas. Souls are far more numerous. A level up 2 notification just popped up. Still in Mirror World after revelations, Yun-Che processes system messages, class advancements can be reversed, with deeper functions to explore. Deciding to get powerful fast, he exits in a flash of blue light, a huge orc-like creature roaring. Exiting, system buzzes. He gets a level up 2 notice, confirming level 50, scoring the legendary, Great Fong Necklace. Secret Realm Lord defeated, realm clears and dissipates. His updated stats, level 50 caster, 6 free stat points. Unidentified figures watch the realm vanish. Outside, total chaos. Onlookers panicked as the hero's secret realm vanished. Someone shouts, this is Ding Jian. Confirming his presence. Amid confusion, an order goes out to investigate. Grim news from investigation, Ding Jian was killed. The entire hero family massacred. No suspects yet, wanted notices everywhere for clues. A man reads the shocking headlines. City reels in shock, a hero killed. A holographic display shows chaotic images and a wanted poster with a shadowy figure. A military man barks orders to capture the criminal. The situation is super serious. Then, a dark, armored figure sits ominously on a throne. Luo Wei, the Supreme King, stands in the former hero's secret realm. Lan Qian dead. A subordinate reports Ding Kuan's guards have no idea what happened. Fallen S-rank sword fighters and strongmen show immense devastation. A hooded speaker gets a report. After checking entry/exit records and public security info, the obvious suspects are Yun Sha and Yun Che. Someone addresses Your Majesty, remarking on nostalgia. Another offers to handle something. Meanwhile, the public buzzes. Students discuss the hero's secret realm incident, wondering how a hero could have been attacked. Outrage swells. People call it a national shame a hero was killed, questioning the army. Specifically, Ding Kuan. Yun Sha walks, conflicted, thinking, that person killed Ding Kuan, and I was the accomplice who helped him get into the hero's secret realm. Big yikes. Lost in thought, Yun Sha sees Yun Che walking nearby. Her eyes widen in surprise. Yun Che gives a neutral look, as if he expected it. Awkward tension is palpable, especially after Yun Sha's recent thoughts. Later, Yun Che discusses life nurseries with a shadowy armored figure. The figure is unfamiliar, but Yun Che explains they're super precious, essential for advancement, and only available to the most elite. His example? Yun Sha, of course. The man on the throne asks the kneeling, glowing figure about Yun Sha's identity, as this figure was eager to meet her. The revelation? Yun Sha is actually Luo Sha. And she's Luo Wei's granddaughter. What? Post-chaos, the scene shifts. A partially visible character, purple iris glinting, shocked, blurts out, "You're actually Luo Wei's granddaughter." Meanwhile, Yun Che's clearly leveled up, stats now level 50, with 1960 HP and 200 MP. Yun Che's casual return to school instantly created a stir. Students buzzed, pointed, and called his name. A blonde woman faced him as he walked in. Students swarmed him, thanking him for saving them from a wandering lord. They mentioned his few days off and a school reward, but a student quickly worried the Ding family might come seeking him. A student explained the three heads of the Ding family vanished in the hero's secret realm, leading to a family search. They feared Yun Che's power might draw questions, but reassured him the public blamed a news-reported secret realm destroyer. Yun Che mused that despite hero deaths, no one would suspect him. He admitted breaking into the Ding family's house for a pass, but knew they lacked proof. A student mentioned the peacekeeper was close to catching the secret realm destroyer. While a student reassured Yun Che he'd be cleared, his real concern was avoiding the powerful, omnipresent peacekeeper forces, noting how easily citizens could report via phones. Yun Che reflected that undead manipulation enabled his school return, allowing him to impersonate himself, avoid suspicion, and discreetly learn about this era. Following the hero's secret realm incident, a tense crowd gossiped. A man vehemently blamed the secret realm destroyer, claiming they caused suspicion on Yun Che and others. Everyone sympathized with the Ding family, condemning the destroyer's attack on a hero. Yun Che observed the crowd, knowing Ding Kuan was a Luo Wei promoted hero. He understood public views wouldn't easily shift, even if he was the killer. Then, whispers began about rumors questioning the hero's true nature and private hero's secret realm information. The crowd grew louder, students scoffed, dismissing the rumors. But a girl with a ponytail insisted she'd heard them too, arguing dead heroes couldn't speak otherwise. She claimed to possess a secret video showing the hero's secret realm's dissipation. The secret video played, revealing a horrific scene of injured, distressed people in the middle of rubble. A viewer explained these were Ding family's enslaved and abused victims. Horrified, the young onlookers found it tragic. Yun Che watched, wondering if this was the change he sought. Shock rippled through the crowd. A blonde man and a woman questioned the video's leak, given army security. A man dismissed it as a fake smear, but a blonde woman, Yun Sha, stepped in. She confirmed its authenticity, adding weight by revealing her recent invitation to the hero's secret realm. Yun Sha explained the video was only a fraction of the truth, known among the upper class. Her personal confirmation of its reality shocked the uniformed crowd, making them question their beliefs. Yun Che watched seriously as Yun Sha urged someone to follow her. An unidentified character questioned Yun Sha's return, asking why she wasn't afraid of the Peacekeeper investigation. Then, a blonde woman abruptly accused Yun Che of hero murder. She warned him that the Peacekeeper wasn't his only concern, threatening to turn him in. Yun Che listened, formulating a response. Yun Sha stepped forward, asserting Yun Che's nature wouldn't turn bad and that the hero family deserved death for their evil deeds. She told Yun Che he owed her another favor. His eyes glowed purple as he acknowledged her meaning. Yun Che's mind raced, fixated on Rosa, Luo Wei's granddaughter. He questioned why she aided his entry into the hero's secret realm, wondering if she also hated the Ding family. A dark thought emerged: should he use her to approach Luo Wei? Yun Che asked Yun Sha about a life nursery. She confirmed, explaining it produces life essence. Yun Che was then seen heading toward the principal's office. Yun Che suddenly found himself in the mirror world, learning crucial information. The old principal possessed a world tree sapling and had acquired almost all available life nurseries. Yun Che then appeared in a glowing pink and purple realm. A world tree sapling, copy, an SS-level secret realm treasure, was there with watering instructions. Numerous copy life nurseries were scattered around, surprising Yun Che with their sheer quantity. Yun Che still in his mirror world, checking out this super old-looking machinery he found. He's trying to figure out how to break into a formation it's protecting, but he realizes he's just not strong enough yet to do it without totally destroying everything inside. So, he decides to pull back for now. But he doesn't leave empty-handed. He snags a bunch of copies of items from inside the formation, like a frenzy robe, beret pattern boots, and even a skill book for thunder formation, plus a common book on formations and machinery. As he's doing this, he notices something big. Bolin, the principal, is level 89. That's way stronger than Lan Qian, making Yun Che seriously think about changing his class to keep up. Now back in the real world, Yun Che realizes his strategy can't just be about brute force anymore. He's in the school library, surrounded by shelves and shelves of books, planning his next move. He decides the best way to crack that formation and understand this new era is to hit the books. He tried dismantling copies of machines before, and that didn't work, so now it's pure research. Yun Che is thinking about how impatient he was when he first revived, wanting to go straight for Ding Kun. But he knows times have changed, and if he doesn't get a solid grasp on things, he won't even be able to face Luo Wei, the Supreme King. He's diving into general knowledge books, reading about machines and life and starting to get a handle on how mana cores are used, even if the underlying principle still mystifies him. While sifting through all these books, he spots someone unexpected. Up on an upper railing, reading calmly, is Yun Yin. Yun Che immediately recognizes her as Yun Sha's guard, who's also Luo Wei's granddaughter's personal protector. He's totally baffled why she's there, especially since she usually shadows Yun Sha. He wonders if she's investigating something, given the strange red marks he sees on her or the book she's reading. Yun Che approaches her casually and asks if he's unwelcome. Yun Yin, looking up from her complete collection of world-classic fairy tales, talk about a surprising choice for a guard, asks him what book he needs. He tells her he's looking for something specific, about the principles of dungeon products and mechanical structures. She helps him find it, and her hand glows with strange particles as she does. Yun Che thanks her, then casually asks if there are any other books on mobile communication around. Yun Che is clearly trying to learn about the most advanced tech in this era, using his library visit as a cover while also getting an unexpected interaction with someone close to Luo Wei. So, the next day, the man with dark hair offering a snack to the woman with dark hair, but she totally turns him down. Even though she's kinda cold, he just places it near her anyway, secretly thinking about how he feels this inexplicable closeness to her. It's Yun Che, trying to get closer to this female character in the library. He's got a sandwich for her while she's super focused on finding books about mana engines and formation systems. He tries to help her out, explaining what a formation connection system is, while secretly hoping to pry some info out of her, since he figures she's only there because Yun Sha is resting. But then Yun Sha pops up, totally focused on her book, and casually asks Yun Che where his follower, the descendant of the traitor, is. Yun Che just brushes it off, saying he'll be back soon. But whoa, the scene immediately cuts to the Ding family's residence, where the agitated Ding family member is looking at a photo of a tied-up Asu, totally freaking out because his captors haven't contacted them again. This is bad. Meanwhile, things are heating up with the hero family. The man with paper, hero family member, and the man in suit, hero family member, are flipping out over some document, discussing if Yun-Che might be the one who killed grandfather hero. They're already holding some Qiao family members captive, demanding to know why Yun-Che hasn't been arrested yet. An armored subordinate then reports that Xiao Ji is back at school, where a protesting student is already out there with a sign demanding to topple the traitors. And boom! Xiao Ji himself is out there, making a huge public scene. He's yelling to a crowd that his great-grandfather, Xiao En, was actually a hero, not a traitor, and he's even got a video to prove it, related to the battlefield where the valiant dungeon dissipated. Yun-Che watches this unfold from above with a woman with Yun-Che, while 3 observers in green uniforms are totally shocked, thinking this could change everything. The truth is starting to come out. Xiao Ji declares his great-grandfather Xiao En was no traitor and his family is innocent. Students are confused, as textbooks tell a different story. Students whisper the Qiao family has always served the Ding family. Xiao Ji overhears, seeing a chance to free them, with Yun-Che unavailable. He plans to use the public outcry. Yun-Che is confronted by 3 Peacekeepers office members, Chief Lao, an S-rank high archer, and his S-rank sword guard deputies, Ma Su and Mate. They suspect his involvement in the Hero's Secret Realm incident and demand cooperation. Lao questions Yun-Che about killing the Wandering Lord in the Valiant Secret Realm and his disappearance coinciding with the Ding family's 3rd son. Suspicious of his sudden power, Lao pushes. Yun-Che denies killing any hero, claiming he just hid his strength and needed to clear his head after a terrifying hidden boss. Yun-Che insists he's just a student. Lao, suspecting a disguise, uses his epic skill, Dispel Disguise. It fails, a system message confirms Yun-Che isn't disguised. Lao is clearly surprised. Unable to get more, Lao and his deputies leave, warning they'll return. Yun-Che internally notes his textbook study helped him for now but knows it's just the start. He also considers connecting the job system to machinery. Yun-Che realizes Luo Wei used the black-suited figure as bait for those connected to a master. Luo Wei's shadow guards are terrifying and rule-breaking. Yun-Che needs a class change soon, acquiring a life nursery through his mirror world isn't a quick fix. Lao gets an update from a hooded informant. The public suspects Yun-Che and Rosa. Rosa is dismissed, but Yun-In, always with Rosa, is flagged as suspicious, a descendant of a traitorous Yun clan. Yun-Che becomes highly suspicious due to his shared surname before the informant vanishes. A powerful, unidentified person orders a uniformed man to kill Yun-Che on sight if he acts unusually. Yun-Che senses this surveillance. He consciously maintains his disguise, even choosing bland cafeteria food like spaghetti and fried eggs over a meat-filled bun to blend in. Yun-Che happily eats the disgusting cafeteria food, much to his classmates' revulsion. From a past life of scarcity, it tastes delicious simply because he's full. He explains he's happy because he's hungry, prompting classmates to suggest going out for decent food. His classmates invite Yun-Che to the Big Crow bar to thank him. He accepts, hoping a bar is ideal for gathering information, especially about another life nursery. He uses a purple glowing platform to arrive at the bustling bar. Inside, someone recommends a drink called Difference Engine Dream. Yun-Che quickly realizes this ordinary bar, where secret realms are controlled and most are level 30 capped, won't offer info on a precious life nursery. As he thinks, a street crowd spots him, shouting, "Hey! Little Master!" A scene shows villagers offering honey fruits to a young knight. Back in the modern city, Yun-Che feels out of place. He picks up history of the Yun family rebellion and wonders if any of his friends or family truly survived. At the school library, all dead echoes in Yun-Che's mind. He feels like only an outsider would be out so late looking for books. As he grabs modern history, Yun-In surprises him, asking what he's looking for. Yun-In, holding a thick book, tells another character she found the requested array machinery book, revealing it was written by the principal. Yun-In tells Yun-Che she found the book he asked for. It's all about formation mechanics, which is super important for his research. Turns out the book was by their own principal. Yun-Che thanks Yun-In for helping him late at night, and she shrugs, saying she couldn't sleep anyway. She offers to bring sandwiches next time, which Yun-che accepts. Yun-che dives in, seriously impressed. He says the book explains profound concepts simply, making them easy to grasp. He realizes using these formation mechanics for pure destruction wouldn't be hard, given his familiarity with formations. Yun-che tells Yun-in the formation issue is settled. Then, he asks a crucial question: are there any books about the ancient Yun family? Yun-in looks thoughtful. Yun-in shakes her head. Yun-che won't find any books on the Yun family here. She explains that after the Yun family's rebellion and betrayal, the benevolent emperor banned all their history, despite their formerly good relationship. Yun-che questions the emperor's benevolence and asks if any Yun family members were innocent or survived the rebellion. Yun-yin's answer is blunt: not a single one was innocent. And none survived. Yun-che's research reveals the full truth of the Yun family rebellion. Everyone died. Luo Wei himself led the Shadow Guards in a betrayal. He was incredibly close to the Yun family, using that trust for a sneak attack that killed their strongest, the family head. It was a massacre. Not just the Yun family, but all guards, servants, and even their children were slaughtered. After the family head died, Luo Wei publicized their rebellion, and an order went out: assassinate anyone with Yun family blood to eliminate all risks. Seeing this in the Mirror World Vault, Yun-che is furious. Purple energy surrounds him, a formation shatters, and he draws his flowing cloud sword, screaming Luo Wei's name. A past memory: a 12-year-old Yun-che tells a young Luo Wei to chill during training. Luo Wei's so intense he's destroying all the dummies. Yun-che worries there won't be any left, and Luo Wei looks surprised. Luo Wei, still 12, says he'll ask the Queen Mother for more funding. Yun-che objects: I'm not telling you to buy more, I'm telling you to rest. He wonders why Luo Wei and his brother train so much, quoting their father: every drop of sweat is to shed one less drop of blood on the battlefield. The memory continues: Yun-che's 16-year-old elder brother, Yun-yi, trains hard for dungeons, deciding on 10 more sets. A young blonde girl reminds him, too much is as bad as not enough, jokingly adding he's afraid of being surpassed. A flashback: a younger Yun-che watches his older brother, Yun-yi, train intensely with a sword. A man in uniform comments being outdone by someone younger would hurt their pride. Yun-yi says he'll finish his set and rest. Then, an adorable young girl rushes in with iced honey lemon water and apple pie. Now, we meet Yun-tier, Yun-che's 8-year-old younger sister. She offers the refreshments as a special treat. Yun-che and the blonde companion eagerly gobble them up, praising Tier as the best little sister. Tier passes a drink to her older brother, who finds it sweet. She excitedly mentions guests from the Southern Night Order are arriving today. It's a sweet, innocent family scene, showing Yun-che's happy past. Yun-tier proudly explains Auntie Belle has been cooking since dawn, and she snuck these treats out. Yun-che starts to scold her for stealing, but the blonde companion laughs it off, saying that's why it tastes so good, and Luo Wei agrees. The tone turns dark. Yun-che reflects he never cared for dungeons or knights, only wanting a happy family life. But not everyone agreed. A system message appears: class change conditions met, life nursery, May 5th. Then, a gut-wrenching scene: a bloodied Yun-che, surrounded by dark energy, cries out to a menacing Luo Wei, confused and betrayed. The injured Yun-che screams, asking why their long friendship was so easily destroyed. We glimpse a regal character with a crown and glowing yellow eyes, embodying the cold power that shattered Yun-che's peaceful past and fueled his hatred. A distressed voice speaks of the Empire's stability, followed by a regal character's dismissive reaction. Yun-che then manifests purple energy and chains. A system window announces a successful class change to Peace Dancer, with healing mode and deterrence mode activated. An unknown character identifies Yun-che as their next target. A distressed Rosa begs Yun-che to save Yun-in from Shadow Guards, reminding him of favors he owes. Yun-che questions why Yun-in is targeted by Shadow Guards. Rosa cries, revealing Yun-in is a descendant of the rebellious Yun family, which shocks Yun-che. Rosa, desperate, has reached Yun-che. She reveals Yun-in is a direct descendant of the traitorous Yun family, which Luo Wei massacred. Because of this lineage, the terrifying shadow guards have identified Yun as the prime suspect in the dungeon incident and forcibly seized her from her mansion. Rosa explains she even had proof Yun wasn't involved in the hero's death, but the shadow guards ignored it. She tried everything, pulling every string, but nothing worked. Completely defeated, Rosa tells Yun-che she has no idea how to save Yun. A system message alerts Yun-che, "You have exited the mirror world." He had been deep diving into Yun family history. Staring at Yun's image, the truth clicks: is Yun really a descendant of the Yun family? He recalls his research. As far as I know, the Yun family had an illegitimate child outside. Yun-che realizes this illegitimate child couldn't be his father's due to his strict nature, so it must have been his big brother, Yun-yi's, child. He remembers that after the massacre, the king showed a flicker of mercy, sparing this child and confining her to a small estate near the palace, never allowed to leave. This illegitimate child, Yun-yin's grandmother, never knew her baby's father and eventually committed suicide. Yun-yin is her daughter. Her lineage is a direct, tragic consequence of the king's mercy. Rosa then shifts to explaining how she met Yun when she was 7, sneaking away from etiquette classes. Rosa, escaping the palace, stumbled upon a quiet wing where a girl was being brutally bullied. They called her a traitor's descendant and traitor's bastard, trying to take her fairy tale book, claiming she didn't deserve to read. No one intervened. Rosa's urgent plea triggers a flashback for Yun-che, showing Yun as a child. On the ground, clutching a tattered book, she's bullied by boys calling her mother crazy. Yun bites one of them hard, refusing to release her precious book. The bitten boy screams threats, while another accuses Yun of stealing the book. Young Rosa intervenes, questioning them. The bullies retort with insults, calling Yun a mad dog and claiming the book is worthless, likely found trash. Trying to help, Rosa offers Yun a new book, suggesting she discard the old one. But Yun refuses, instead painstakingly gathering every torn piece of her old book from the ground, valuing those ragged scraps more than any new gift. Rosa understood that secluded, sunlit corridor, and that broken book, were Yun's only light and comfort, more enduring than any temporary handout. Rosa often visited her there, offering help or simply observing. Eventually, Rosa convinced the emperor to make Yun her personal guard, which curbed public bullying, though secret harassment continued until Yun hid her identity at school. Now, she's in a new, dangerous predicament. Rosa explains the shadow guards are the emperor's brutal, ruthless unit, known to slaughter entire clans. She desperately pleads with Yun-che to save Yun, promising any repayment. As Rosa's urgent plea fades, Yun-che, still in his mirror world with glowing purple eyes, observes a terrifying scene in the real world. Yun lies severely injured and bleeding, confronted by an unseen aggressor wielding a jagged, glowing weapon. A cold voice tells her, "You are quite stubborn." The hooded aggressor stands over Yun, holding a bloodied blade, threatening to torture her through the night. Just as they assert no one can save her, an intervening figure in a black hoodie and white pants crashes in with a powerful kick, attacking the aggressor. Yun-che appears, his purple eyes glowing under his dark hooded garment. He asks, "Are you okay?" Yun-che saves Yun with Peace Dancer's healing mode and healing bell. The cloaked speaker gloats, knowing Yun-che would come, as only his family holds a grudge. They admit using a bastard spawn as bait. The speaker reveals His Majesty kept 2 baits for this moment. They acknowledge the target's insane stealth, noting a citywide search failed, but now the target is caught in their lockdown formation, which only an S-rank could break. The speaker demands Shadow 33 surrender, promising no torture, wanting to have fun with the bastard spawn. Shadow 33 attacks, but Yun-che activates epic skill, Peace Domain, giving allies 10% damage reduction and slowing enemies by 20%. Yun-che, furious, asks a shadow guard if they tortured for fun. The guard grins, confirming it, bragging their reputation drew Yun-che out. Yun-che is livid. Xiao Benbin uses defensive skills like iron armor. The scene cuts to Luo Wei leading the shadow guards, a distressed girl kneeling, Yun-che's shadow form fighting. Chaos on multiple fronts. Yun-che is furious, unleashing rage on the shadow guards. He screams they slaughtered his family and now abuse an innocent child. Purple, chain-like energy explodes around him. In deterrence mode, Peace Dancer Yun-che shouts enemies won't escape. He chains reverse chant skills like Musical Beat and Inspire Courage, each boosting attack by 10% and triggering Blade of Trickery. An opponent notes his transforming weapon. Yun-Che unleashes Chain Trick 1000 Blade Siege. The aggressor still calls Yun-Che a support class for his healing and aura, dismissing his weapons as mere aesthetics. Yun-Che activates epic skill, Martial Deterrence Domain. This aura makes enemies take 10% more damage and boosts allies' speed by 20%. The aggressor, despite sneering, admits Yun-Che's moves aren't bad, acknowledging he killed Ding Kuan. The aggressor remains overconfident, boasting his opponent can't get close, lashing out with purple chain energy. But his attack hits something unexpected, making him recoil, yelling, "What's this?" The aggressor realizes the hooded character used mirror-based stealth. He dismisses them as a support class who wasted a trump card, then retaliates with epic skill, Deterioration Blade, worsening their damage and negative effects. Yun-Che saves Yun-In. The aggressor, beating her, is shocked as Yun-In, still hooded, unleashes unexpected attack skills, including Splitting Trick. The aggressor furiously screams Yun-In won't use her mirrors or summons, threatening her and the bastard spawn. Yun-Che activates Peace Dancer's ultimate, Dance of Finale, Celestial Requiem Bell. This legendary skill creates an angel phantom, granting invincibility and reflecting all damage. The aggressor is stunned, taking his own attacks back. It buffs Yun-Che's team. Yun-Che shatters the aggressor's formation, leaving the injured Shadow Guard bleeding. He steps over him, tells Yun-In to turn, implying something brutal. The injured Shadow Guard identifies himself as one of His Majesty's, threatening reinforcements and Emperor's wrath. The aggressor is unmoved, promising the guard will repay Yun-Yin's injuries 100-fold. Yun-In is injured, surrounded by shadowy figures, distressed. She screams at an unseen figure, calling them a maniac and begging them to stay away. Yun-Che crashes into chaos. Debris flies, ground cracks, Shadow Guards demand surrender. Yun-Che stands over defeated figures, having flipped the ambush. A chained figure is dragged through the wreckage. The scene clears, showing Yun-Che, crackling with purple energy, over a severely injured, bloodied girl. Distressed, she looks up, shocked, whispers, "You." Yun-Che tells the injured girl he instantly took down 3 S-rank Shadow Guards. He sends her to Rosa's hideout, promising his undead will protect her. She asks his next move. He says more cleanup. Carrying the injured girl, Yun-Che realizes these attackers are the notorious Shadow Guards, Luo Wei's unit that massacred his family. He demands a defeated figure confirm their presence. A shadowy figure asks which Shadow Guards participated. Answers reveal Shadow 3, Shadow 5, and Yun-Yi, implying they were raised from childhood given uniform naming. A hooded character with purple eyes appears. Yun-E is questioned. A flashback shows a young, distressed Yun-Che with his smiling older brother, Yun-E, with purple eyes. Young Yun-Che calls out, "Big brother." Yun-Che had just saved Yun-In from the Shadow Guards, and a huge bombshell dropped. His older brother, Yun-E, was connected to the Yun family massacre and the Shadow Guards. Now, an even bigger revelation hits us. The hooded figure with glowing purple eyes who led the massacre was Yun-E himself. Things escalate. Yun-E isn't just a Shadow Guard, he's a captain. Elsewhere, the Shadow Guards are in a panic because Shadow 22, who tried to capture Yun-In, is missing. They only found corpses in a dungeon and have no idea who was responsible or where Yun-In went. An order is given to widely distribute Yun-Yin's photo and announce her as a Yun family descendant. The official report goes viral. Everyone is shocked a member of the chief evil Yun family is still alive and questions why this information is surfacing now. At school, students discuss the report. Some dismiss it as fake, while others sympathize, arguing Yun-In was too young to be blamed for the past. One even compares her situation to Qiao Ji, who suffered for years despite being innocent. However, the deep-seated hatred for the Yun family is evident. The sympathetic students quickly concede their views are unpopular, fearing their families, especially their grandfathers, would punish them for showing any sympathy towards Yun-Che or his family. Others are heard demanding severe punishment, even death and torture, for the Yun family and Yun-In. As people discuss torture, an older man angrily confronts a younger one, calling Yunche a traitor responsible for countless deaths, including the younger man's parents. People verbally abuse Yunin, calling her a spawn of sin and telling her to kill herself. Yunin realizes she needs a new hiding spot now that the security chief is here. Rosa explains to Yunche that the security bureau has been monitoring her and saw his visit, suspecting their link to the dead shadow guards and Yunyin's disappearance. Yunche reflects on the hero death case. With Yunyin's identity now public, he knows he's suspected as the cloaked person and the hero's murderer after entering the hero's secret realm. The old principal shouts away the security chief, with Yunche present. Yunin is safe in Rosa's hideout, but tensions are high. Rosa tells Yunche she's been under constant surveillance by security and troops. Yunin, blaming herself, worries Yunche would be dead if exposed while saving her. The old principal, frustrated, admits he can handle the security chief, but the Emperor's shadow guards are another challenge. The old principal, Rosa's great-uncle, is stern. He reminds her that even with his magic, the shadow guards are far beyond S-rank. He reveals His Majesty Luo Wei has ordered Rosa to drop out of school and return home, warning that bringing Yunin to the palace would be impossible to hide, given all the surveillance. Yunyin's internal monologue is grim. She always expected this day, seeing herself as an unacceptable spawn. She feels she's relied on Rosa too long and now dragged Yunche into her mess, convinced he was exposed trying to save her because of her. A flashback shows a child seeing their distraught mother with a noose around her neck, a desperate moment ending with the somber declaration, "Time to leave." Yunche has a plan. He tells Yunin to come with him to a secret realm he knows, suggesting it's the ideal way to escape scrutiny. Rosa, though she thinks it's a good idea, is cautious and wants to wait for public opinion to settle first. Yunin tries to reassure Rosa, arguing she's innocent with no real evidence against her, suggesting they beg His Majesty to let them continue school. But Rosa, guilt-ridden, tells Yunche he doesn't need to help. Yunche reminds Rosa that Luo Wei has ordered her return, an order she cannot disobey. After all the chaos, Yunche drops a bombshell on Yunin. He reveals he's the reason for her suffering since birth, and his past entanglement with Luo Wei led to the Yun family massacre. He then wonders why Yun-yi, his own brother, was part of the shadow guards responsible. After the revelation, Rosa asks Yunche their next destination. He replies he got the information from a shadow guard dead spirit. Yun-yi, his brother, is currently in the Golden City secret realm. The chapter closes with three figures heading into a rocky area within the desolate city. Yunche and Rosa are deep in a secret realm, fighting level 58 laborback gorillas. Yunche recognizes them from his past life. They drop gold iron ore, which he needs to repair his damaged flowing cloud sword. He activates the sword's chain blade form, snaring two gorillas. The fight intensifies as Yunche transforms his sword into the giant scythe form, boosting its attack power to plus 5,200. Rosa activates her Starplay secret art, boosting Yunche's spirit and attack power. The flowing cloud sword's buff adaptation trait absorbs Rosa's buff, pushing its attack power even higher to plus 6,240. The old principal thanks Yunche for saving everyone in the Valor secret realm, rewarding him with World Tree resin. He almost gave skill books, but was pestered to change his mind. He confirms the life nursery is still off limits. Yunche uses the World Tree resin, boosting his flowing cloud sword's repair progress by 11.2%. This fixes the sword's buff adaptation trait, allowing it to copy and apply active buffs. He also uses gold iron ore from the gorillas, adding another 0.2% to the repair. Yunche realizes this secret realm's monsters are a good source of gold iron ore for his sword repair before meeting Yun-yi. Fighting shadowy figures, he acquires new gear like a big Fong necklace, rainbow silk robe, and array rune boots. The flowing cloud sword's attack power also increases by 40. He's gearing up for his brother. A male character with chained blades fighting a huge monster, joined by a female character whose eyes glow red as she uses an electric sword. As he screams her name, Yun-yin, a level up notification pops up. Beyond leveling up, their fighting helps the flowing cloud sword. It absorbs gold iron ore from spoils, boosting its attack power by 300 points and increasing repair progress by 1.5% to 20.7%. Every fight brings that legendary blade closer to full repair. Now to Yun-yin, whose eyes glow purple. A hooded figure reveals that 40 years ago, the Yun family ruins were swallowed by the Golden City's secret realm and preserved within. The figure suggests Yun Yin's grandfather might still be there. Meanwhile, Yun Yin is being tracked. A hooded figure reports to Luo Wei, a man with white hair and red eyes, claiming Yun Yin is hard to track due to public sentiment, but they secretly placed a tracker on her. Locator scepters distributed among their forces can find her within 1,000 meters, ensuring she can't hide long. An unidentified character with white hair, initially distressed, turns stone cold, declaring nostalgia time is over and it's time to clear a last remnant. They activate an ornate, glowing key-like object, causing a holographic interface to appear and their red eye to glow brighter. A flashback shows Yun Che, wielding his purple scythe, fighting two ape-like monsters, with Rosa nearby. A system notification for 2 more gold iron ore confirms they've been busy gathering resources in the secret realm for hours. Yun Che drops a bombshell on Rosa. Yun Yi, Luo Wei's Shadow Guard captain, was the one who slaughtered the entire Yun family. Yun Che insists Rosa and the family were innocent. He offers his undead for her protection, giving her a choice in the face of this devastating truth. Rosa is reeling from Yun Che's revelation, her grandfather, a killer, yet her family, innocent. Overwhelmed, she admits she can't process it immediately, but despite the shock, she declares her intention to go. As they continue, Yun Che second-guesses bringing Rosa, wondering if he should have faced Yun Yi alone first. Suddenly, something incredible ahead catches his attention, startling him. Yun Che recognizes the location, his family's ruined training grounds. A system window confirms they've entered the mirror world. He wonders if, like Benben's soul, his massacred family's souls are now wandering this spectral realm. A big sword fight erupts. 2 warriors are going all out, clashing blades, and there's a huge crowd of spectators cheering them on, totally hyped about how skilled these two are. And guess what? It's Yun Yi. The spectators are going wild, yelling his name and praising him. Turns out he just won the competition, even after apparently giving his opponent a second chance. An unidentified character is like, yeah, but that nobility would be a disadvantage on a real battlefield, but Yun Yi just confidently brushes it off, saying he'd win back any advantage. But then, Yun Yi's expression just shifts. 1 minute he's calm and confident, sword in hand, then suddenly he's shocked, distressed, even sweating. Something totally unexpected just hit him, changing his whole demeanor. We don't know what it is yet, but it's clear something bad or surprising just happened. This conversation continues, with a long-haired man and Yun Che's older brother talking about Yun Che. The long-haired man praises Big Brother and wonders if his own brother would kill him if he outshone him. Yun Che's older brother warns about speaking ill of the royal family. He's proud of Yun Che's talent, but clearly a little jealous, noting how everyone, even the master, spoils Yun Che and how the master only truly relaxes around him. There's even a small memory of the master being affectionate with a young Yun Che. The long-haired man speculates if the master will pass a title to Yun Che. And just as that conversation ends, a.m. Lan Yuan village is engulfed in flames, under attack by tons of people. An armored character observes the chaos, realizing the attackers are overwhelming. He yells, "There are too many of them. We must protect the villagers." And charges straight into the fray, ready to fight for the people caught in the crossfire. Alright, so this chapter doesn't waste any time, immediately throwing us into a chaotic flashback. Yun Yi, fighting as a captain. His group is totally short-handed, and villagers are dropping like flies. A blonde woman and an armored character are pushing him to make an impossible choice, concentrate their forces on the enemy leader, even if it means sacrificing more innocent lives. Yun Yi is clearly overwhelmed, the weight of the decision crushing him. But before Yun Yi can decide, the scene violently shifts. Our Yun Che, but much younger, just charging into battle alone. He's fighting against multiple attackers, arrows are sticking out of his shield, there are cuts on his face, and his eyes are glowing purple. He's just relentlessly pushing through the chaos, taking every hit. The fight is over as quickly as it began. Yun Yi is holding up a severed head, declaring the enemy leader dead, and offering mercy to the remaining opponents. But the victory is bittersweet. Yun Yi looks distraught, haunted by the fact he almost chose to sacrifice the villagers. A blonde woman tries to comfort him, telling him that sacrifices are sometimes necessary, and that not everyone has Yun Che's martial prowess, indicating high risks. The flashbacks keep coming. An unnamed individual states that concentrating power to kill the leader was the correct tactical choice. But then, a scarred man is pleading with Yun-Yi for mercy. He admits he borrowed something because his wife is dying, and even reminds Yun-Yi that he taught him how to ride. Yet, a stern man with long light hair insists they have to make an example of the scarred man to protect the family. Yun-Yi remains silent. The scene gets even more intense. An unidentified character is calling Yun-Che reckless, claiming the family is doomed without Big Brother to manage things. Then it's pure, bloody chaos, people getting struck, blood splattering everywhere, injured figures falling. Everything is bathed in a red light under a massive red moon. This is a scene of the Yun family's destruction. And finally, the truth hits, an unnamed speaker reveals Yun-Yi sacrificed the entire Yun family for the sake of the kingdom and his goals. And they blame Yun-Che for it. Meanwhile, our Yun-Che, in the present, is feeling an immense, crushing pressure. He's surrounded by visions of fiery destruction, left to question if this destructive event is related to his brother, Yun-Yi. Yun-Che's journey into his family's ruined training grounds in the mirror world takes an absolutely wild turn. He's just confronted by Luo Wei, who appears on horseback and in some completely new form. Yun-Che is absolutely stunned, yelling out his name. Luo Wei, for his part, seems surprised Yun-Che even recognized him. Then, out of nowhere, a shot of the purple-eyed, spiky-haired man. He has dark, spiky hair, glowing purple eyes, and is totally absorbed in an open book. His identity, the book's content, and the reason for his glowing eyes remain unconfirmed. Alright, so last chapter ended with Yun-Che in his ruined training grounds in the mirror world, and BAM, Luo Wei shows up on horseback in this new, youthful form. Luo Wei, looking all young with blonde hair and gold eyes, asks Yun-Che, what I look like. Yun-Che's just staring, and his own eyes are glowing purple. Then Luo Wei goes on this wild monologue. He admits his shadow guard captain used Yun-Yin as bait to flesh out the rebel remains who killed the hero. He says that someone took Yun-Yin away and killed a bunch of his shadow guards. And now, seeing Yun-Che and Yun-Yin together, he's certain. He points right at Yun-Che, calls him that rebel and a pest, and declares he should return to the dust as he winds up a massive, glowing energy attack. Yun-Yin and Rosa are right there, looking terrified. Luo Wei unleashes this incredibly destructive power, it's an absolute blast of energy that sends debris flying everywhere. A dark-haired woman expresses fear that she wouldn't survive if it hit her. Luo Wei, still looking calm despite the chaos, refers to someone as Sha and says, Sha, you're being naughty again, I almost hit you. Both the dark-haired woman and a blonde woman are just frozen in terror, wondering if Yun-Che is already it's clear they're worried about what just happened to him. Before anyone can react, Luo Wei smoothly offers someone to just follow me for now, and come back with me later. But nope. Yun-Che bursts out from a cloud of dust, completely enraged. He activates his mirror world, then kicks it up a notch with intimidation mode and his flowing cloud sword immediately transforms. He's stacking buffs, too, getting multiple ATK plus 10% bonuses. Yun-Che screams at Luo Wei, calling him poisonous scum, telling him he doesn't deserve to be on Yun family land, and that all the kindness and years of friendship they shared were just chips Luo Wei gambled away and then crushed like trash. A powerful, glowing golden-orange attack impacts Yun-Che, flinging him high up into the air. Luo Wei observes the area where Yun-Che was, then looks surprised as he declares, oh. He vanished. Yun-Che is in critical condition, bleeding out from a laceration that's incurable and going to last for an hour. On top of that, he's totally confused from a mental spell shock and his mirror walk skill is about to run out. Luo Wei, looking on, can't believe Yun-Che actually bypassed his perception with some stealth skill, even in this state. A worried woman in a white dress nearby is clearly distressed, murmuring to Your Majesty about him. Luo Wei, completely unfazed by Yun-Che's stealth, confidently declares that the traitor has been wounded by his automatic counter-damage skill and won't survive. He immediately orders Yun-Yi to take several squads to the impact point, instructing him to ensure the pest is cleaned up properly. Yun-Yi acknowledges the order with a firm yes, Sir. The worried blonde woman listens intently to Luo Wei's cold command, while the purple-eyed, spiky-haired man is still seen holding a book. A flashback begins, showing a younger Yun-Che, enveloped in a purplish aura as a white mist swirls around him, labeled transformation. The young girl teases him, saying he always skips training and causes trouble, so their dad finally got him a super fierce swordsmanship teacher, Mr. Shenwan, a sword master even stronger than their father. The purple-eyed, spiky-haired man adds that he can learn a lot from Mr. Shenwan too, all thanks to his brother. The family dynamic continues with their mother telling Yun-Yi to teach Yun-Che more, but Yun-Yi reassures her that Yun-Che's foundation is solid. Then, Yun-Yin, looking super excited, tells Yun-Che that his whirlwind slash is way cooler than Yun-Yi's moves, which clearly annoys Yun-Yi, who glares at her. She then proudly announces that she's awakened the Chanter class and offers to heal Yun-Che whenever he gets hurt, showing off her new skills. The teasing doesn't stop there. TR tells Yun-Che she has good news, she's found him a wife. She explains it's teacher Sha Wan's daughter, who also has a priest class and healing skills, hoping this will make teacher Sha Wan go easier on him. The blonde woman, teacher Sha Wan's daughter, is clearly uncomfortable and quickly says that she didn't agree either. The flashback continues, revealing a more tense scene. The purple-eyed, spiky-haired man reappears, looking mournful and saying he missed everyone so much. Then, in a separate scene, an authoritative long-haired man reprimands Yun-Yi, saying he's too harsh on his subjects and his punishments are excessive. He tells Yun-Yi it's too early for him to control these things and orders him to do something else, even explicitly telling him to stop working for His Highness Luo Wei. Yun-Yi is shocked, arguing that if he doesn't do it, no one will, and Yun-Che certainly isn't suitable for such tasks. The argument intensifies. The lords of other territories are preparing for war, and Yun-Yi confronts his father, furiously accusing him of being too benevolent, saying his indecisiveness will ruin the family's future. His father, equally stern, reprimands Yun-Yi for his insolence and for contradicting the family head. A woman tries to intervene, but Yun-Yi just yells at anyone who doesn't understand to shut up. Meanwhile, Yun-Yi, looking absolutely terrified, whispers to Yun-Che, "Yun-Che, I'm a bit afraid." A character identified as second brother attempts to protect a girl named Ter during a devastating event, later expressing regret for his perceived failure and self-blame, which another character denies. A character with long white hair, glowing eyes, and surrounded by butterflies appears and speaks a fragmented name. Luo Wei, still in his youthful form, confronts a blonde woman in a low-level secret realm. She's surprised to see him, asking why he's there, but Luo Wei coolly says he came to pick her up. He knew she snuck in using her great-uncle's connections, despite him telling her to go home. He's clearly annoyed. The blonde woman is nervous, but Luo Wei just tells her not to be naughty again. Meanwhile, a cloaked man reports that they still haven't found the person they're looking for, suggesting accomplices. The search isn't going well. The cloaked figure advises Luo Wei to return to the Imperial City for safety, as their opponent has undetected concealment skills. Luo Wei brushes him off. He then asks Yun-Yi if she resents him. Terrified, Yun-Yi quickly denies it. Luo Wei tells Yun-Yi he spared her mother because he thought children were innocent. He explains Yun-Ji led the Yun family's rebellion, plaguing the kingdom, but he didn't want to involve the kids. He reveals he never expected the hatred for the Yun family to be so intense it drove Yun-Yin's mother to suicide. Yun-Che reacts in shock. Luo Wei states if the Yun family wasn't truly sinful, he wouldn't have touched them, and the decision pained him. He then mentions Yun-Yi, confirming Yun-Ji's older brother became his shadow guard captain. Someone reacts, questioning if this person is their grandfather. Yun-Yi is distressed, blaming Yun-Che for all their troubles. She brings up rumors that her mother was an illegitimate child of a Yun family rebel, questioning her own bloodline, especially since Yun-Yi never rebelled. Luo Wei confirms to the purple-eyed man that Yun-Tier is his sister and Yun-Yin's grandmother. Yun-Yi is instructed to call the purple-eyed man great-uncle. Luo Wei orders Yun-Yi to follow him, but Yun-Yi protests, stating she is her bodyguard. Luo Wei confirms he initially arranged for her to be Yun-Yin's bodyguard. The blonde bodyguard is shocked by this revelation. Luo Wei praises her for taking care of Yun-Yi and mentions a reward. She tries to protest, but Luo Wei uses mind control on her, telling her her siblings miss her, then takes her away, leaving a stunned Yun-Yi. Yun-Yi looks distressed. We then cut to Yun-Che, who appears with glowing purple eyes and a golden aura. He stares at Ter, surrounded by butterflies, calling out her name in disbelief, Ter. Yun-Che expresses distress and surprise, asking how Tier is here, then realizes they're in a Yun family location, so it makes sense. Ter reveals she's a dead spirit and asks if Yun-che remembers her. She's holding a tiny, glowing chibi-style girl. Yun-che holds Ter, who is now translucent and glowing as a dead spirit. He observes that even in this state, she instinctively only heals and never attacks. Yun-che repeatedly apologizes, appearing distressed and remorseful. Yun-che is heartbroken, sobbing and embracing Ter, apologizing endlessly for being useless and unable to protect her, blaming himself for her death. Ter, glowing faintly with white hair, pats his back, crying and softly speaking his name. A system window pops up, a dead spirit contract, offering Yun-che a chance to bind this soul to take her out of the mirror world, with her level capped by his. This dead spirit actually called his name. Yun-che is stunned, realizing Mirror World's level 3 restored some of her intelligence, and vows to restore all of it. Yun-che, with glowing purple eyes, vows to find a way. Meanwhile, in the ruined training grounds of the Golden City's secret realm, his brother Yun-e is still hunting. He orders his first squad to search east, convinced rebel remnant Yun-che is hiding in the secret realm. Elsewhere, a dark-haired girl in a uniform calls out to a man she calls Great Uncle. An unseen speaker suggests Yun-che is dead and the search is over since His Majesty left. Then, a white-haired man with red glowing eyes suddenly appears, declaring he hasn't dealt with the girl yet. Red glowing chains burst forth, binding her. The dark-haired girl is suspended helplessly by the glowing red chains. The white-haired man watches, and a voice asks what to do with her. Suddenly, a massive crack echoes, and a giant column of shimmering golden fragments erupts into the sky. The white-haired man and armored figures observe. The secret realm itself is dissipating. The armored figures and the white-haired cloaked man react with surprise and concern, asking, "What is happening? Who killed the secret realm lord?" In the crumbling environment, Yun-che stands on a rocky outcrop, his purple eyes glowing intensely. As the realm falls apart, a voice utters the name, Ter. An intense moment unfolds where a white-haired female character asks someone she calls Big Brother if an unidentified male really participated in massacring the Yun family. She recounts how this male came home looking worried, but it was an act to get father alone, then sneak attack and backstab him. As she speaks, it flashes to Yun-che, his eyes glowing purple, and a horrifying realization clicks for him. He's seeing or remembering that his father, mother, and all Yun family members were killed by his own hands. This is a massive revelation. A flashback opens with young men causing trouble. An angry woman with a sword appears, furious. She warns them her brother is back to beat them senseless if they bully Shaya again. Someone tries to calm Ter, but a young man insults Shaya, calling her weak, unskilled, and a disgrace to the Yun family's night order. This involves Ter and young Shaya, Sword Master Sha Wan's daughter. Flashbacks continue. A purple-eyed girl tells her father she's taking her brother to teach a lesson. In a darker scene, a red-cloaked man stands over an injured person who whispers "Run." Chaos erupts. An attacker strikes, an injured red-haired person falls, a voice yells for Mist to run. A purple-eyed, spiky-haired man fights an armored blonde, while a long-haired observer watches. A dark-haired character with a glowing purple eye is traumatized, yelling "Ter" in the middle of a massacre. She cries out names, Nina, Auntie Belle, Uncle Guard, as bodies fall and figures fight in windows. This chapter dives into trauma, a chaotic, red-soaked scene with frantic voices screaming names like Axan, Father, Big Brother. A distressed dark-haired woman desperately searches for Ter, overwhelmed. Chaos intensifies. A purple-eyed character thinks, Mother, I, while a brown-haired character calls Yun Yi. The Yun family is under attack. A dark-cloaked man is stabbed by a dark-haired woman, as a voice urges, "Hurry, find your sister and protect." Yun Ter, blood-spattered and fearful, hides with Yun-e. She urges they find her father, the Sword Master, their only hope. A memory surfaces of a younger Yun-che making holes in walls to skip training. Yun Ter explains a path through the bushes is their escape, but then spots a cloaked figure on the wall. She realizes observers know the Yun family's layout too well, questioning, is it because of Yun-e? A light-haired woman with a sharp object tells Yun Ter they'll both die if they stay. She plans, I'll draw their attention. Slip through the hole in the wall, creating a diversion for Ter's escape. The light-haired woman tells Yun Ter to find her father, hurry, find my father, and come back to save me. Yun-ter, bloodied, accepts. The woman moves away, preparing her diversion and sacrifice. A flashback shows Yun-ter, red-marked, standing defiantly in the middle of crumbling ruins, yelling, "Come on. I'm not afraid of you." A cloaked figure watches from a damaged balcony, as a chaotic visual suggests an impact. Violent silhouettes flash with blood splatters and a sea sound. Yun-ter moves rapidly through the red, particle-filled environment, distressed, tears stream. The dark-haired man with a bloody, curved weapon calls, "Tr. Then, don't blame me." Before lunging. Cloaked figures observe in the red-lit environment. Back in the present, the Golden City dungeon dissipates. People question why. Garrison troops move soldiers inside, as an observer and a shadow-like figure watch from a distance. Yun-che's purple eyes blaze with rage as he screams, "Yun-yi. You deserve to die." A public execution by hanging is shown. Meanwhile, a white-haired man with red eyes declares, Yun-che made the dungeon dissipate. The white-haired man with red eyes wonders if Yun-che is tricking them. He orders, Yun-in will be publicly executed by beheading in 2 hours. And commands vigilance against rebel attacks. Yun-in hangs from a gallows, blaming herself, feeling weak. She believes she's bait for Yun-che and wonders if death would be better. It's grim. Explosions erupt. Change Yun-in is present, someone pleads for Yun-che not to come. Fiery blasts rip through armored crowds. A character with a glowing purple eye looks intense. In the middle of the chaos and explosions, Yun-che spots a white-haired armored woman with a glowing sword at the center. He looks surprised, recognizing her. He's right, it's Rosa, armored. The white-haired man with red eyes, who bound the dark-haired girl, exclaims, "Shaya." He's smug, revealing he lured her out, having planned this. Someone else echoes, "Shaya, you really are still alive." Her reappearance is significant. Red-eyed man smirks at armored Rosa, gloating he lured her out, surprised she's alive. Yun-che is floored, Rosa is alive. He thought her dead. Like Yun-yi, Luo Wei, Lan Qian, she looks young, baffling him. White-haired man reveals Luo Wei rewarded his betrayal, a skill absorbing blood relative's life essence for youth and long life. Yun-che realizes Luo Wei fooled him, giving a skill but only observing, using him as an experiment. Yun-che wonders where Luo Wei got these life-extending skills, having never heard them. He questions how Rosa managed it. Massive combat, city-destroying slash. A sword-wielding white-haired woman and Shadow 13-ya, an S-rank assassin, appear. What happened? Destruction continues with holiest slash. White-haired man impressed, second-class change without alarms, despite sealed dungeon. The combatant is Rosa, level 85 SS-rank Oath Paladin. White-haired man notes her city lord level power, which the system shouldn't allow. He declares system loopholes, and he'll handle fallout. Rosa, Shaya, shields a dark-haired figure. It's Yun-in. Armored Rosa busts black chains. Yun-in shocked, Rosa reassures, unleashes Knight's Charge to smash enemies and escape. S-rank Barbarian Warrior, a Royal Knight Captain, mocks Rosa for charging alone. Protecting someone makes combat/mobility useless against archers. White-haired man smirks. Archers rain arrows. Rosa deploys Evout Shield for Yun-in. White-haired man taunts, questioning shield duration and warning lost mobility means death. Chasm rips near castle. 3 characters note banners, Yun-in, a rebel descendant, will be publicly executed. 1 expresses satisfaction, finally, she's caught. Rebels battle to save Yun-in, but army swarms. Commanders scream, kill them all. Yellow-eyed, white-haired man desperately shields dark-haired woman as defense shatters. A character activates Oath of Vengeance and a Sin Domain Holy Shield. It erupts, burning anyone caught. A brutal counterattack against the army. White-haired man smirks, ordering hooded figures to heal injured armored man, who instantly recovers. He boasts Kingdom's advanced class changer army instantly heals rebel AoE damage. White-haired antagonist uses Oath of Vengeance / Sin Eradication /. He tells Dark Horse-surrounded Yun-Che killing hundreds won't kill thousands, urging him to give up attrition. Yun-Yi appears, glowing green, level 99 SS-rank Shadow Hunter. He tells Yun-Che resistance pointless, exposed, he'll be hunted. White-haired antagonist warns against resisting nation. White-haired woman fights armored figures. Light-armored woman ensnared by shadow quicksand. Warnings, if rebel identity leaks, she'll be abandoned. White-haired man watches, smirking, radiating green energy. She's completely isolated. As Shadow Hunt, Iron Maiden. Wrapped sharp, jagged teal/green structures. Distressed, with a face scratch, she's trapped. Rosa fights sword/shield against dual-wielding male in glowing energy field. Yun-Yin stands free beside Rosa, white-haired man watches. Someone snidely announces, another rat here. Yun-Che. Yun-Che appears, sword in hand, eye glowing purple. Rosa and Yun-Yin behind him. Enemy armored woman, with red-caped man and hooded figure, shocked by Yun-Che's name. Speaker asks how more rebels appear like rats in a sewer. Armored woman sees it as chance to kill hidden rebels. As enemy schemes, massive green glowing armored figures emerge. Someone asks, who can withstand such an army? A voice calls Yun-Yi. Yun-Che's weapon glows, powerful morph transformation. Level 99 Yun-Che stands with glowing flowing cloud sword, surrounded by green, shadowy summons. Deep voice booms, your sins unforgivable. White-haired man snaps, flowing cloud sword. Your imitation spot on. He's furious. Yun-Che, a shadowy blur, instantly takes down a massive horned monster, dropping 113 gold iron ore vital for his weapon. After absorbing gold iron ore, Yun-Che levels up twice, his flowing cloud sword's repair reaching almost 30%. But this ore's effect diminishes, so he needs higher level materials for further repairs. Even damaged, his unique flowing cloud sword boasts over 8,300 attack power and form change. Yun-Che proves these stats overkill for his stage, unleashing devastating purple slashes. Yun-Che, a blur, instantly cuts down multiple armored soldiers. An observer notes his abnormally high attack power, killing without skills. A large glowing figure stands distant. The white-haired commander orders more garrison troops. He worries less about Yun-Che's stamina and more about his dead spirit summons, reviving in now S-rank, tearing through his soldiers. Armored figures battle. A speaker alarms, weak dead spirits are replaced by powerful ones, identical to their soldiers, with green skull heads and energy, flooding the field. The red-eyed commander urgently orders more garrison troops. A soldier stresses these enemy spirits match their strength and skills. Yun-Che, a lightning blur, uses daggers and purple energy, instantly downing multiple soldiers. The white-haired man with red eyes and a blonde-haired man observe. They discuss a movement skill using any reflective surface. Yun-Che's reflection in soldiers' armor makes blocking it incredibly difficult. Yun-Che's assault continues. He unleashes dark chains and energy, grappling and throwing multiple armored figures, defeating them sequentially. Suddenly, a speaker recognizes a familiar combat stance. A new, cloaked figure appears with a flash. A system window reveals enemy OATH, a skill marking targets, granting bonus damage to subsequent attacks. The white-haired man with red eyes observes a speaker question, is it Shaya? A white-haired female in golden armor then activates Divine Judgment, unleashing a massive glowing impact on armored soldiers. The battlefield is a mess, split by a fissure with many dead or injured. A soldier worries they can't get the upper hand, despite facing endless black monsters with many troops. Other armored figures are shocked by another expert, their army might lose. Rosa, drained and low on mana, wants to rush out. A shadowy Yun-Che appears, and Rosa vehemently tells someone not to proceed. Yun-Che, purple eyes glowing and distressed, strikes an armored character with shadowy spear-like projections from his flowing cloud sword. The red-eyed white-haired man watches as a bandaged hand tries to block the attacks. Yun-Che confronts the white-haired man, asking if he hates him. Surprised by Yun-Che's flowing cloud sword mastery, the man replies Yun-Che is too young to know him, launching dark, arrow-like projectiles. Yun-Che's purple eyes glow as he attacks, injuring the white-haired man. The man realizes Yun Che knows his old defensive blind spots and has Yun Yi's identical combat stance. He screams, "Yun Yi!" As Yun Che fights, a distressed Rosa asks Yun Yi, "Do you know him?" Yun Yi counters, "Who is he?" In the middle of their questions, Yun Che simply cries, "Why?" Yun Che, purple eyes burning, clashes intensely with the white-haired man. He demands to know why the man became Luo Wei's minion and attacked the Yun family. The white-haired man, scratched, retorts, "Why would you strike at the Yun family?" Yun Che screams, unleashing fury at the white-haired man for harming Tr. The man defiantly blasts dark red energy, ready for their deadly fight. Their furious exchange continues. The white-haired man looks intently at Yun Che, saying, "It is really you," then reveals, "My little brother." Yun Che. Yun Che stares back, grimacing, as the realization sinks in. Even Rosa gasps in shock, muttering, "You're alive again." The white-haired man with red eyes grins, stating, "It all makes sense now." Yun Che stands ready, golden weapon glowing, purple lightning around him, a huge shadowy figure appearing behind him. Yun Yi and Rosa are shocked, realizing who Yun Yi is. Xiaoen creepily states, "Heh, you're alive again." Furious, Yun Che snaps back, "Then I'll just have To kill you again." The main fight resumes between Yun Che and the white-haired man, Yun Yi, who notes Yun Che's abnormal attack power. Yun Che uses Shadow Pierce. As they clash, Yun Yi narrows his eyes, calling Yun Che Yun Yi. Yun Che, purple eyes blazing, screams, "Go to hell." At Yun Yi, using a swift movement technique to taunt, "Did you think you were the only one with a movement skill?" Their weapons clash as Yun Yi retaliates with Shadow Strike. Yun Yi impales Yun Che with a brutal red energy attack, blasting him back, drawing blood. Yun Yi dismissively calls Yun Che a lucky brat with a bit of talent, scoffing at him thinking he's a hero. Injured, Yun Che hears Yun Yi gloat about the kingdom thriving for decades since Yun Che's death, implying others would have risen anyway. Behind Yun Che, a massive shadowy armored figure manifests, with a cloaked figure emerging beneath it. Still bleeding, Yun Che fights furiously with Yun Yi, his older brother. Yun Yi gloats that the kingdom unified, producing more grain and having no internal wars since traitors were purged, crediting machines developed by His Majesty Luo Wei. The intense fight continues with Shadow Strike. Yun Yi continues his monologue, mocking those who enjoy the prosperity he claims he secured through harsh methods for Luo Wei's kingdom. Yun Che, injured, struggles against him but refuses to give up. The wider battle rages. A giant shadowy figure attacks a smaller man. Someone praises His Majesty Luo Wei as a true hero, while another shadowy mass is impaled by red spikes using shadow burial. It's chaos. Yun Che, bloodied but determined, clutches a dagger. A spiky entity emits red and yellow energy, then a massive golden light explodes, the heavenly soul-subduing bell activated. Yun Che, purple eyes blazing, confronts his brother. He demands if Yun Yi truly believes covering tragic truths and murdering their family was justified as necessary sacrifices. Yun Yi, cold and unrepentant, replies, "Of course," claiming the Yun family was nothing compared to the kingdom. Yun Che accuses, "Was their stubborn father truly the type to rebel? Did every single person in their family need to die?" A voice screams it was all recklessness. Yun Yi stares impassive as energy attacks flare. The battle rages. Yun Yi tries to justify himself, claiming King Luo Wei caused the Yun family's destruction and he saved the kingdom from an SSS-level disaster. But Yun Che, bloody and defiant, rejects his excuses. Their blades clash, purple energy against cold steel. An unseen character claims the kingdom would be gone without them. Yun Yi retorts he could have done it alone, accusing someone of selfishly hoarding resources. Yun Che scoffs, "Ha." Yun Che drops a bomb, accusing Yun Yi of doing all this out of jealousy. Yun Yi angrily denies it, clearly hit by the accusation. Yun Yi snarls back, asking who'd be jealous of a loser like Yun Che and calling him a puppet for His Majesty's schemes. Yun Che throws it back, "Aren't you the same?" Yun Yi, red eyes blazing, screams at Yun Che to shut up, furious. Yun Yi unleashes a devastating attack of dark and red energy, causing massive destruction. But Yun Che reappears through the chaos, bloodied but glowing purple. He stares down the shocked Yun Yi, declaring, it's time to end this. Yun Che reveals the SSS-level Mythic Mirror Core, an accessory that copies skills. He activated its first function, copying Berserker's body, from his ally, Undead Lan Qian. This skill instantly ramps up his attack by 300% and speed by 200%, with more boosts as his HP drops. Yun Che transforms, hair white and eyes red, stunning Yun Yi, who wonders how Yun Che got His Majesty's equipment. Yun Yi, red eyes glowing, is done. His massive, ornate sword blazes with red and orange energy, cracking the ground as he powers up. He declares he's tired of your nonsense and fiercely states, "Let's end everything today." Chapter flashes back to before Yun Che transformed. In a fierce battle with a light-haired, vengeful opponent, Yun Che sliced off an accessory, then immediately dived into the mirror world. Flashback reveals Yun Che used the mirror world to collect and duplicate the SSS-rank Mythic Mirror Core accessory, detached from its phantom. He immediately copied Undead Lan Qian's skill, Berserker's body. In the present, Yun Che, fully powered by Berserker's body, boasts 300% attack, 200% speed, with stats rising as health drops. He taunts Yun Yi about recklessness. Yun Yi accuses him of stealing His Majesty's property. Brothers clash again. Yun Che, beat up but hitting hard, deflects another furious attack from Yun Yi, who keeps yelling about theft and demanding answers on his night spirit. Enraged, Yun Yi blasts Yun Che with red-black energy. Yun Che barely holds on with a glowing shield. Yun Yi denies jealousy, claiming a clear conscience. Injured, Yun Che just asks, "Clear?" Yun Che and Yun Yi's fight continues. Yun Yi, shadowy and red, screams Yun Che is evil, but claims his actions serve the greater good. He uses shadow form body to have damage, then dark shadow swamp to slow Yun Che and cut attack. Yun Che maintains his actions serve the greater good. Berserker's body fully activates for Yun Che. Health drains to a critical 132/2520 HP, but attack power skyrockets by 600%, speed by 400%. Level 67, with very low MP, he's a living weapon. Fight turns brutal. Yun Che, white-haired, red-eyed, bloodied, enraged, swings his fiery sword. He spits at a bleeding Yun Yi, "Then you must have been living very happily these past years, right?" In the middle of their clash, someone, likely Yun Che, mutters, "Boring argument." Yun Yi, the strategist, stops mano a mano. Seeing Yun Che weakened by Berserker's body, he orders his archer squad to unleash continuous saturation fire. He knows Yun Che's critically low defense and health mean he can't dodge everything, easily taken out. As arrows rain, someone screams Yun Che's name. White-haired Rosa appears with another dark-haired female, taking a defensive stance. A powerful sword and shield ultimate domain is mentioned. Rosa glows golden, reaching upwards in the middle of incoming projectiles, while two figures fall in background. Rosa activates Purifying Sanctuary, deflecting projectiles. Visibly exhausted, she still faces armored enemies, one swinging an axe. She holds her own, but it's clearly draining her. Rosa, watching transformed Yun Che, worries as fewer dead spirits reappear, indicating dangerously low mana. She fears if they don't win now, they can't hold on much longer. Yun Che and Yun Yi's intense, bloodied fight continues, both injured, throwing everything at each other. Sparks fly as glowing weapons clash. Yun Che's red eyes blaze with fury. Yun Yi, taking hits, fights fiercely. A busted-up Yun Yi yells, "You forced me to do this." He declares he'll use power from His Majesty Luo Wei, activating red, gear energy. He transforms into a shadowy, glowing red-eyed monster, unleashing a huge sweeping attack on soldiers. Super powered up, Yun Yi gloats his new weapons and shields are beyond Yun Che's capacity, convinced he can't be overcome. Yun Che deadpants, "Is that so?" Then activates Flowing Cloud Sword's buff adaptation skill. The system confirms Yun Che chose Berserker's body as his adaptation buff, 600% boost to attack power, 400% to speed. White-haired, red-eyed Yun Che says, "Then don't let me down," before launching into a rapid blur of glowing energy. Yun Yi fires a huge, glowing triangular energy blast, shattering Yun Che's red energy shield. Yun Che takes a direct hit, blood splattering, screaming, "How is that possible?" Yun Che, bloodied, unleashes a powerful glowing energy attack at his opponent's red-bandaged arm. Fragments break off. Holding nothing back, his stats, Spirit Power 81, Level 67, HP 132/2520, 21 MP left. Yun Che, critically injured and bleeding, unleashes a furious attack on Yun Yi, yelling for him to go to hell. Yun Yi, still in his shadow-transformed state, takes a direct hit from Yun Che's glowing blade. But a white-haired male figure isn't done yet. He appears from the shadows, striking back hard with his powerful shadow strike. Skill, continuing their intense battle. As their fight rages, an unidentified person orders shadow guards and cloth-armored soldiers to swarm Yun Che. They shout that Yun Che is out of HP and can't take any more hits. Despite being critically injured, Yun Che fights back fiercely, throwing many soldiers away, but the sheer number of projectiles eventually overwhelms him, and he collapses to the ground. Inside the mirror world, Yun Che is gasping for air, bleeding heavily. Rosa is by his side, channeling glowing energy, possibly to heal him or protect him. He realizes his mana is dangerously low and he can't resurrect any more undead. Yun Che knows he has to end this fast, anticipating that Yun Yi will try to stall for time to heal. His rage boils over, thinking about how he raised Yun Yi for his own health and longevity and how Yun Yi's refusal infuriates him. Suddenly, a thought strikes Yun Che. Lan Qian used to heal by absorbing the blood energy of his own relatives. This immediately makes him fear for Yun Yin's safety, who is lying vulnerable on the ground nearby. Acting on instinct, Yun Che uses Shadow Strike. Again, appearing right among the armored figures surrounding Yun Yi, and lands another blow on Yun Yi, sending him falling, injured and bleeding. The armored figures continue to fight, shouting their loyalty to Supreme King Luo Wei. Despite his injuries, Yun Che stands firm, manifesting dark energy. He activates a powerful new skill, Awakening Shadow, Shadow Hell. Instantly, multiple glowing red, shadowy warrior figures appear around him, ready to tear through his opponents. Yun Che plunges down from above, his glowing flowing cloud sword leading the way. The shadowy armored figures below look up as he lands with enough force to crack the ground around him, ready to unleash his assault. He's not letting up. Yun Che yells, resisting any mental tricks, "Don't even try to mess with my head. You're not getting through." He activates Deterrence mode and unleashes his Blade of Deterioration, which makes all the damage and nasty status effects on Yun Yi even worse. Yun Che lands a critical hit right on Yun Yi, who takes massive damage. But then, we get a quick, jarring flash. A screaming, bleeding person with a red glowing eye. Suddenly, a blonde Luo Wei greets Yun Yi as Brother Yi. Yun Yi looks surprised. Then, Luo Wei urgently calls out, "Luo Wei, hurry up." To a younger spiky-haired man, who quickly responds. Yun Yi apologizes to Luo Wei. Yun Che, standing over a severely wounded, kneeling man, mocks him, "You're too slow." Before striking him with his massive glowing sword, sending blood splattering. The injured man groans as someone nearby screams, "Your Majesty." As golden energy erupts. The severely bleeding injured man is Yun Yi, who apologizes to Your Majesty for needing saving. But then, in a flash of golden light, Luo Wei himself appears. He addresses the injured Yun Yi, "Brother Yi, you really have gotten old." Yun Che, shocked, yells, "Luowei." He thought Luo Wei had already left, but now the Supreme King is here. Luo Wei doesn't waste any time, criticizing Yun Yi, "You used what I gave you, yet you couldn't even beat someone with only a single class advancement." The captain of the Shadow Guards addresses Luo Wei as Your Majesty as he collapses. Luo Wei declares, "It seems I need to find a new captain of the Shadow Guards." Then, he turns his gaze to Yun Che, asking directly, "Is your name Yun Che?" Wait, what? After all that crazy fighting last chapter, Yun Che versus Monster Yun Yi, Rosa barely holding on defending Yun Yi, this chapter just abruptly switches focus. Luo Wei, the Supreme King himself, just appears, extends a hand, and asks someone, "Are you interested in being my captain of the Shadow Guards?" We don't even see who he's talking to. Like, talk about a cliffhanger. Who do you think it is? Yun Che is absolutely furious, yelling at Luo Wei, asking him what he's even talking about and calling him shameless. But Luo Wei is completely unfazed, just calmly asking if Yun Che is angry, then declares that his proposal is Yunche's only way out of this mess. Luo Wei just shrugs off Yunche's anger, telling him to just treat it as a joke. But then that Yunche is struggling, his body glowing, under a powerful mind control spell. His hand is trembling, he's barely holding on, but Luo Wei is so confident, asserting that Yunche won't escape, not when he's this close. The text makes it clear, stating, the gap is too big. This highlights the overwhelming effect of a previously discussed skill. Luo Wei continues to mock Yunche's energy, then demands he kneel. He slams Yunche with a powerful gravity spell, forcing him down. Yunche is straining, visibly injured, and realizes Luo Wei's power has skyrocketed since they last met. Luo Wei then brings up a tragically deceased little Lan Qian, demanding Yunche repent for whatever happened to them. Just when things look their worst, a new skill activates, the heavenly soul-suppressing bell. It manifests, accompanied by glowing angelic figures. Luo Wei observes it with interest, noting an invincibility state bound to the angel. But he quickly dismisses it, calling the S-rank skill just decoration to him. Yunche is inflicted with a gravity spell X2 by Luo Wei, causing him to struggle intensely and acknowledge the unprecedented power, while Luo Wei states his actions are for his sacrificed soldiers. Luo Wei expresses disdain for Yunche and attacks him, stating he won't let him escape, leaving Yunche impacted in the ground. Luo Wei reveals his knowledge of Yunche's displacement skill and prevents its use, leading Yunche to acknowledge his own weakness before being struck by an attack and inflicted with a status. Yunche makes an accusation regarding Brother Yi while struggling under gravity and heavy pressure spells as two figures appear. Two characters are shown in distress with blood, while another character screams out names, as Luo Wei appears, imposes a gravity spell, and addresses a deceived little Luo Sha. Luo Wei orders someone to kowtow, remarking on their stubbornness and similarity to Yunche, and states he would have made them a subordinate if they hadn't killed his people. Yunche is barely clinging on, bloodied and trembling, calling out names like Lan Qian, soldiers, Yun Yi, and Luo Sha. But the Supreme King, Luo Wei, just stares him down, accusing him of putting on an act and not caring about any of them. Yunche's health points are at rock bottom, and he's baffled why Luo Wei hasn't just finished him off yet. Luo Wei then starts muttering about a dereliction of duty and how Yun Yi's earlier words might have made someone act too soon. He asks why they'd need to act later, what they're waiting for. In the middle of this, a character believes someone wanted to lure them out, realizing it's all a setup. Suddenly, a system message flashes, Yunche's gravity spell status effect is gone. He's still injured but his aura flares. Luo Wei, with a knowing smirk, admits there were a few minor accidents, but in the end, he successfully fished out someone, using him to do it. Then we cut to a severely injured woman, Luo Wei, who's bleeding on the ground, calling out for Master Sha Wan and even Father, admitting she really needs help. But when Mr. Shen Wan, a stern-looking old man with a beard, shows up, he tells Luo Wei flat out not to call him master because he never took her as a disciple. The old man then thinks to himself that he only ever took one disciple, responding to a good friend's request. He looks at Yunche, who is still injured but glowing, and asks if he can still hold on. Yunche, totally surprised, looks up and exclaims, "Master." Luo Wei, the Supreme King, casually offered Yunche a Shadow Guard's captain position. Yunche was livid, eyes red, demanding how Luo Wei could say that. Luo Wei coolly asked if he was angry. Luo Wei dismissed the offer as a joke, though serious. He told Yunche his earlier escape proposal was irrelevant, he wouldn't let him leave. Yunche was in immense pain, caught by psychokinesis. This telekinesis, a basic mental power skill, had Yunche struggling. He glowed, fighting Luo Wei's pressure. This skill's potency stemmed from their huge power gap. Luo Wei, with a wisp of energy, casually watched Yunche struggle, commenting, "You're quite energetic." Luo Wei demanded, "Kneel." Yunche was hit by gravity, forced further down. Luo Wei, feeling stronger, demanded he repent for little Lan Qian's tragic death, blaming him. A glowing heavenly realm soul-suppressing bell appeared, surrounded by small, winged angels. A blonde character watched, unimpressed, calling it interesting but noting invincibility was restricted to angels. Luo Wei dismissed S-class invincibility as decoration. He used a glowing orb, sending spikes that pierced Yunche, making him bleed. Luo Wei commanded, now, do it for all my soldiers and shadow guards who sacrificed themselves. Yun Che struggled against gravity X2. Barely holding on, his hair white, eyes red, pushing past limits. He realized he reached strength not achieved in his past life. He struggled amid glowing energy, surrounded by shadowy figures, as a cloaked character observed. Luo Wei called Yun Che scum, manifesting a glowing energy claw, vowing he wouldn't escape. Yun Che was engulfed in destructive energy within a crater, radiating bright energy with red eyes. Luo Wei mocked Yun Che, revealing he knew his mirror-based displacement skill, warning him not to use it. Yun Che silently clenched his jaw, realizing he wasn't strong enough to fight Luo Wei, under immense pressure. The chapter ended with Yun Che overwhelmed, gravity pinning him. Luo Wei's summoned fighters appeared, causing an energy surge. The chapter picked up with Yun Che screaming, crushed by Luo Wei's gravity spell. Bleeding, he tried calling for Rosa and Yunin. Luo Wei shrugged off Yun Che's cries, vowing to deal with Rosa and Yunin later. He cranked gravity, stacking it 5 times on Yun Che, forcing him to bow. Luo Wei declared this was for his deceived Luo Sha. Luo Wei taunted Yun Che, calling him stubborn and like another. He admitted if Yun Che hadn't killed his people, he'd have recruited him. The defiant Yun Che, though crushed, managed a weak hair. Luo Wei aggressively questioned Yun Che, accusing him of faking concern for Lan Qian, soldiers, Yun Yi, and Luo Sha. Yun Che, critically injured, retorted that Luo Wei could kill him instantly, yet hesitated. He asked why. An unknown speaker questioned Yun Che's hesitation despite injuries. The speaker reflected on their duty regarding Yun Che acting ahead of schedule, recalling Yun Yi's statements. They asked Yun Che what made him wait. As questions were posed, Yun Che's eyes glowed red, and he powered up. Suddenly, Yun Che transformed. His hair glowed white, eyes red, shirt shredded. A system message confirmed his gravity status dispelled. A long-coded character, radiating orange, appeared nearby. Yun Che had transformed. Luo Wei, with a sinister smile, declared that despite minor accidents, he finally fished out his target, Master Sha Wan. Before Mr. Shen Wan could react, Luo Wei, bleeding, desperately called for father and Luo Wei, begging for help. Mr. Shen Wan, unswayed, sternly reminded her not to call him master. He never accepted her, only taking one student for a friend's request. Meanwhile, Yun Che, overwhelmed by Luo Wei's mind control and gravity spells, barely clung to consciousness with white hair and red eyes. He heard a familiar voice, Yun Che, can you still hold on? Shocked, Yun Che gasped, Master. The chapter ended, showing a purple-eyed, spiky-haired man. Alright, so after that wild cliffhanger last chapter with Yun Che transforming and Master Shen Wan showing up, this chapter takes a hard left. We get a quick glimpse of Ember City's facilities, their cultivation areas for plants, a dispatch center for combat staff and citizen requests, and even a skill exchange where people can sell unwanted abilities. It's giving us a feel for how this city operates. Then the scene changes completely. We're somewhere else now, watching the man with black hair asking the woman in a white dress about Master, especially since their teleportation array is destroyed. She assures him that father has a backup plan for escape. Then, the man with black hair turns to the woman in armor, asking how she's survived all these years, just as the man in a suit interrupts, summoning her to a council meeting about her unexpected arrival. Hold on a sec, because Yun Che is here. He's in Ember City, being told to stroll around. 2 Ember City senior officers, Marco and Li Li, are assigned as his guides. Li Li, who is super chatty, can't believe how friendly Officer Shaya is with Yun Che. She even heard Officer Shaya call him by name. Marco has to shut Li Li up, warning her not to gossip about Officer Shaya or she'll be sent to mine in the Radiant Rock secret realm for 3 months. Yun Che feels like he's being scrutinized, but Marco just says he can't disclose anything without official orders. Li Li, however, is more than happy to show Yun Che around. She explains that Ember City has 2 secret realms, an S-rank Radiant Rock and a level 25 to 40 Wildfire secret realm. These realms provide almost all of the city's food and resources, because venturing outside Ember City's walls is incredibly dangerous. Yun Che thinks about how vital these secret realms are for survival in a closed-off place. Li Li keeps talking, musing about how resources are limited in the realms and asking Yunche if food just grows everywhere in the outside world. An Ember City senior officer cuts her off, telling her not to bother their guest with Ember City's problems. Marco then pauses thoughtfully over the word guest. Suddenly, a massive pink energy manifestation appears, and someone shouts, "They're back." We're suddenly seeing a small number of injured recruits returning from a secret realm. Observers, including Yunche, are concerned because these realms are super dangerous, forcing newcomers to face monsters more than 20 levels above them right from the start. On top of that, there's a severe shortage of S-rank support healers and medical supplies, despite overall limited resources. Rosa steps up, explaining how these secret realms are basically a purgatory baptism where only the strongest survive. She tells everyone they try to grow healing plants, but their current environment is a lava cave, nothing survives. Resources are super limited, and even if they manage to hit level 40 here, the next secret realm is S-rank difficulty. Clearly, they're in a tough spot and need to gather their strength to fight their way out. Then, an unnamed female character says it's impossible to find any healers, they're all busy in more important places. Yunche, looking completely exhausted, lets out a big sigh, and this weird black swirling energy around him. What's going on with that? Suddenly, Yunche's glowing and says he can heal. Yunter is right there too, seeming to assist with the healing for someone on the ground. Xiaoji is holding a potion, observing, and Rosa looks completely amazed. An unknown observer wonders if the figures on the ground are dead spirits and if Yunche is the person City Lord Sha Wan mentioned. And speaking of which, City Lord Sha Wan himself appears, bowing deeply and thanking Yunche. Turns out, Yunche has a secret weapon, a world tree sapling that he says he copied from the principal back then. He plants it, and immediately, this tiny sapling just explodes into a massive, glowing tree, completely transforming the entire area around them. Everyone is stunned, especially a Lord Counselor who recognizes it immediately as an SS-rank secret realm treasure capable of changing any environment. Whoa! This world tree sapling is a huge deal. Everyone is ecstatic, saying it will finally save Ember City from whatever's been holding it back. The city councilors bow down, thanking Yunche and calling him Young City Lord. Yunche's like, huh? And an armored female character steps forward to explain that his father, before he left, issued an order: if he doesn't come back, Yunche is automatically the next city lord. Talk about a sudden, unexpected promotion. Yunche grills Yunter, the translucent spirit, about her mirror skills, her lack of aging, and how she managed to survive. He even points out that she witnessed the moment her past, physical body was almost killed. Yunter then shows us a flashback, recalling how she was on the verge of death and passed out, only to wake up somewhere completely new. In this memory, the young blonde woman, watching her father get injured during a chaotic attack on the Yun family. People are yelling, frantically asking, "Where's TR?" The flashback gets even heavier. The blonde woman's injured father tells her how another Yunter's heart was pierced, killing her instantly. He apologizes, saying he tried his best, but blames Luo Wei and Yunyi for being too frantic during the attack, and himself for being too weak. The blonde woman's injured father reassures the young blonde woman that she survived because her vital organs weren't hit, distinguishing her from the other Yunter who died instantly. The young blonde woman then asks her father about his healing skills. He drops a bomb, revealing that his healing skill isn't restricted by class at all. It actually comes from the first secret realm, a place totally different from all the other secret realms that appeared later. She continues, explaining that this skill not only healed her back then, but also stopped her face from aging. She believes Yunche's mirror world skill probably comes from there too, though he denies ever being to such a place. Yunter then reveals that her father always knew Yunche would return to this world and had been preparing for it all along. The scene shifts, introducing a new location, the Skill Management Center. So, with the land improved by the World Tree, the city is just thriving. First up, the Botany Institute. The man in the lab coat is all excited because now, with the revitalized land, they can mass-produce powerful new potions. He says this is gonna seriously boost the city's combat power, and that the high-quality potions can be used anytime. Then we cut to the combat preparation office, where the man with the beard and scar boasts about their top-tier combat professionals, ready to fight. And get this, a new outfit is shown, a full set of radiant gear, jacket, inner armor, leg guards, and boots, all legend quality at level 65. Talk about an upgrade for someone. Turns out that gear is for Yunche. He's checking it out, impressed by how light it is, yet it still offers defense close to heavy plate armor. Rosa, who we now know as Officer Shaya, tells him that with his aggressive combat style, they really should have forged him mythic tier armor. But Yunche is satisfied, saying he just learned almost all the chanter skills, so his combat power has already increased tremendously. Officer Shaya then tells Yunche that her father actually left something super important for him in the underground core's treasury. Apparently, it's from an ancient secret realm. She offers to take him there, setting up their next adventure. Rosa, or Officer Shaya, is stopped by a man in a suit who says she can't go further. Rosa refuses, determined for her father's vault. She accuses the speaker of overstepping, trying to seize control while her father's away. A smug blonde man steps in, implying Rosa is naive. He throws shade at Yunche, calling him an outsider taking advantage, right in front of him. Rosa reminds them Yunche is the young city lord, appointed by her father, and just solved their crisis. Another man confirms the speaker is in charge while the city lord is absent. The blonde man scoffs, questioning Yunche's title. Yunche glares, accusing him of a power grab. Rosa is furious. Tension in Ember City. A speaker mentions their dad not returning. Another man complains Ember City isn't just the city lords, furious a brat is trampling officials' hard work. Others watch. The blonde man yells, "What brat?" He fumes this outsider can't understand the city's suffering. Rosa worries they lack power. Someone questions if they're too exclusionary. Yunche, with an armored knight, calmly states, "I am an outsider." Yunche admits he hasn't experienced Ember City's 50 years trapped underground, relying solely on secret realms. But he imagines the countless lives sacrificed. An unseen entity notes no one has given up. Yunche demands why they fight, then fiercely declares, "For revenge." Yunche continues, "We're going to fight our way out." He understands if they don't accept him as young city lord, but asks them to believe. Yunche, eyes glowing purple, fiercely declares his vengeance is as strong as anyone's, making the blonde man flinch. He tells Tian Zip he doesn't care about the young city lord title, but will use it for revenge against Luo Wei. His master left him something important for this. City Lord Sha Wan challenges Yunche, asking why they should believe he has the strength to lead them. A skeptical voice questions if an item is enough, demanding proof. Rosa asks Yunche's plan. Yunche tells them, "Follow me." He leads the blonde man, a swordswoman, and a school-uniformed woman through icy plains into a massive, shimmering ice cave. Inside, they find the frozen core, a giant, glowing blue ice structure. A companion explains it makes Ember City habitable in this freezing environment. A white-haired woman reveals that frozen core is an SSS-level treasure her father nearly died for. It keeps Ember City from magma, and offensively, could instantly kill anyone below SSS level. Incredibly powerful. Yunche explains to Rosa and City Lord Sha Wan that the frozen core consumes echo stones. Ember City's vault is almost out, barely enough for city protection. A long-haired character looks worried. An unidentified man instructs someone to enter the SS level, Chaos Secret Realm, to retrieve more critical echo stones. A black-haired man is surprised by this new secret realm, thinking there were only two. A white-haired woman shouts it's too dangerous, everyone who entered, except her father, has died. The white-haired woman reiterates the danger, noting even her father got injured. That's why its existence and entrance are kept hidden, never public. SS-level secret realms are brutal, not just stronger monsters, but bizarre, unpredictable, and constantly changing rules. Wrong compatibility means even top professionals can die. Yunche, kneeling in thought, remembers his past life. He recalls clearing SS-level secret realms with Luo Wei as the professional legion after others got stuck. Now, he declares, "I'm going in." Yunche is in a reddish, rocky environment, powered up with intense red energy swirling. A mysterious white-haired woman observes him deep inside the challenge. Things are getting